This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Hello and welcome, everybody. It is that time again. High school football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. The final night of the regular season, and we have a hugely important game for playoff seeding for you. It's the Newcastle Racers and the Bethany Broncos on a Friday night, the first Friday of November at Southern Nazarene University in Bethany, Oklahoma. Josh Calloway on the mic for you, joined alongside my partner in crime, Billy Collier. Carson Wade on the production. Scott Cassidy filling in tonight on the camera work for us, filling in for Uriah. Appreciate him stepping in for us tonight. Going to be a fun one. Like I said, Billy, obviously the Racers are in the playoffs, the Broncos are in the playoffs, but where they're headed and what seed they'll have is up for grabs tonight. The winner of this game finishes third, the loser finishes fourth. That's a big difference in terms of where you go in the first round and kind of your path moving forward. So while both teams are in the playoffs, they can't get a home game. There's a lot on the line tonight for these two teams.
Absolutely, and they are in this district. I would say these are the two teams that are right smack dab in the middle that look at each other eye to eye. I think they both feel they are equal to each other. Well, of course, they probably feel like they're better than each other, but they are in all talent, the eye test, everything. They look like mirror images almost of each other in the way they've played this year. So I think this is going to be a great game tonight and a great time with the placement. I think that's going to be huge with the placement of the winner and the loser tonight.
Obviously, a big question coming in for Newcastle in particular, Bethany too to an extent, but more so for Newcastle, is bouncing back after the disappointment of last week. Both Newcastle and Bethany were in the same boat last week in terms of big games, a chance to maybe get yourself into that top two, which would get you a home game in the first round of the playoffs. Bethany lost to Blanchard, and obviously any Racer fan tuning in knows what happened last week for us. Right. We were over at Richardson Stadium there in Tuttle, had a chance to win that game late, ended up losing to the Tigers by 1 point. Now both these teams have to kind of reset their focus. The disappointment that you're not going to get in the top two, nothing you can do about it now. You got to go forward and find what you can do tonight to get to that 3 spot. So how do the Racers bounce back is going to be a big question. Obviously, when they had the gut punch earlier this year against Blanchard, they bounced back with 3 blowout wins. So we'll see if they can do that again. Hard to do, easier said than done, but find a way to put last week behind them and get on to the next one here.
Well, and Coach Brickman was on the show this Tuesday and talked about how we're not here to win the district. We want the gold ball. That's what we want. So, yes, they did not like losing to Tuttle, but they see, and Coach said that, all of our goals are still in front of us.
Yep.
And so that's where they're going. I think that will help them bounce back some. But to pretend like last week didn't mean anything, it was just another team, I think that's not true either.
Sure.
And so I think there is going to be a little bit of layover, a little bit of, stink. We're playing for third instead of second. Now, let's not deny that. But I also do think that they feel how we play. In fact, Coach said, our playoffs start tonight. And so they're thinking playoffs the whole way through this, regardless of where they go and who they have to play. That's what their mindset is.
For Racers fans tuning in, it's really as simple as this. The winner of this game finishes third. The loser finishes fourth in district. So both teams are going to the playoffs after tonight. But if you win this game, you finish third, the Racers will likely be heading to Elk City. Now, there is a chance, you have to say it, that if Clinton or Elk City were to lose tonight, that this would all get shaken up. Highly unlikely. Both teams are big favorites in the games that they have tonight. Clinton is hosting Woodward, and Elk City, I believe, has John Marshall. So both big favorites in their games. But assuming they both win as they're expected to, that would mean the winner of this game will go to Elk City, the loser will go to the Tornado Bowl and play Clinton next week. And so you have that. Then also sets you up if you want to look ahead even an extra week past that. The way the bracket kind of shakes out and lines up in your next round obviously is also influenced by your seed tonight. So there's a lot kind of at stake tonight in terms of, like we said right off the top, seeding and opponents and kind of your overall draw in the playoffs. There's a lot still kind of a lot of volatility still there. There's a lot of movement that can still be had depending on one way or another in tonight's game. So that's what the Racers are kind of playing for tonight, is to get to that 3 line. Last year they were in the 4 spot, had to go to district champ Elk City, put up a fight but lost. So it makes a difference playing a district champ or district runner-up. It makes a difference. So you want to get to that 3 line if you can, and that's what they're playing for tonight.
And that is exactly, I mean, there is no easy game after this. And you've heard it said, I mean, it's very cliche, to be the best, you got to beat the best. Mm-hmm. Well, from this point on, they're only going to see the best. And so to take the game that's right in front of you, to win the game tonight, win the game next week, and possibly win the game the next week, that's how you have to look at it. Yep. You can't think golden ball yet. You have to think, if we win this game, we keep moving towards our goal. If we lose this game, we shake hands and look to next season.
Yeah. And not for nothing, too. Even if there was nothing on the line in this game, in terms of seeding, you want to try to win and take some momentum with you into the playoffs. Obviously, you had last week was a gut punch, a tough one to stomach. That's not the way you want to go into the postseason. You want to be riding, feeling good about things. So Bethany's a good team. These 2 teams played last year, same week. It was the season finale. It was over at Racer Stadium. And any fans who were with us last year probably remember that game pretty well. It went to double OT. It was a classic game that Bethany won by a point. So if you're the Racers, you want to try and get revenge for that and just be riding some confidence. So there's a lot of reasons for Newcastle to play inspired football tonight and to try and get back in the win column. So it should be a fun night here at SNU. We were here a couple years ago. I like coming out here. So excited to be here for the regular season finale, the first Friday of November. It's already week 10. And next week will be the playoffs, and Billy and I will be on the call next week, too, whether it's in Elk City or in Clinton next Friday night. It's a bit of a journey either way.
Right.
So we kind of know that. We've kind of already accepted going into tonight that it's going to be a journey, and so you swallow that and you move on to the next one. But it'll be fun next Friday. The playoff football is obviously always the best, so look forward to that next week. We'll talk about that a lot more as the night goes on, but we want to do step aside here for a moment. When we come back, we'll continue to talk about what the Broncos bring to the table and preview this matchup. This is the Focus Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. For more than 65 years, Focus Federal Credit Union has continued to deliver innovative products and services to our members about all things finances by anticipating needs and delivering exceptional member service. Stop by and experience the difference with our Tri-City branch at 1097 Northwest 32nd Street in Newcastle. Member NCUA. We'll step aside. Newcastle Racers pregame show rolls on after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting.
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. because your success is our success.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back at SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network, getting ready for this one, regular season finale. Newcastle Racers, Bethany Broncos on a beautiful Friday night. It is actually wonderful. We're actually in the booth here at SNU. We got the cushy spots, but we almost don't really need them tonight. It's a beautiful night. It's a little breezy out there, so I'm not hating the no wind. We've had enough of that this year. My paper's flying around. But really great weather for football tonight. 65 degrees right now in Bethany, Oklahoma. Going to be great weather tomorrow afternoon for Bedlam and Stillwater. It's we were owed this. It was a couple of really rough weeks in terms of weather, but right now it's wonderful. This is a great night for football. I mean, at this point in the year, Billy, we're usually dealing with freezing games.
Yeah, we have pocket heaters and glove heaters and vests on. No, it's really incredible. The first Friday night in November is warmer than the last two Friday nights in October.
100%. So, you don't know what you're going to get. It feels like, I was talking about this the other day, it feels like Halloween in Oklahoma is always freezing, but then Thanksgiving is usually kind of warm, which makes no sense, but that's how my brain at least remembers it. It's been a lot better weather the last couple of days, and it will continue through the weekend. So, looking at this game a little bit, Newcastle and Bethany. We'll go ahead and pull up the district standings, if you might, Carson, here, as we head into the final night of action. Like we said, Newcastle cannot host a playoff game. Tuttle clinched that last night. They actually played Class SAS on a Thursday nighter last night. Took care of business. So the Tigers have clinched second place. Blanchard has already clinched first place as well, even before they played tonight. So they're already district champs. Even before tonight's game, I believe they're playing, I had it written down here, they're playing Tecumseh tonight. So even if they went down, and obviously that'd be a huge upset, they still win the district. So they're 1, Tuttle's 2. Newcastle, Bethany, see right there, they're playing for 3. They have the same record in district right now, 4-2. So obviously, winner of this game will have 5 district wins, the loser will have 4. And there you go. The winner will be 3, the loser will be 4. Hera is going to finish up in that 5 spot. Actually, I think they're playing Bridge Creek tonight, 5 and 6. So they'll play for 5th essentially there. And Tecumseh and Class SAS rounded out. The Broncos, coached by John Arthur, who's in his 7th year here. He's also the AD here. They're in, I don't want to say a rebuild, because obviously they're still a good team, but a little bit of a transition. They had a lot of older guys graduate off last year's team.
Right.
They're a pretty young team overall. They won 9 games last year, including that double OT win over Newcastle in the regular season finale. They have 3 losses this year. They lost week 0 to Jones, who was a 3A team, but a really good one. It was at their place. Lost to Tuttle 30-10, and lost to Blanchard last week 27-7. Every other game they played hasn't been particularly close. They've had a lot of blowout wins, kind of like Newcastle. You kind of mentioned that earlier. They've had similar seasons, and now they take on the Racers here in their regular season finale. Billy, what are some things you're watching for from the Broncos tonight, and kind of players that you're keeping an eye on, things like that?
Well, I think it's going to be a good night if we can get the quarterback pressure in there. We have to reduce them to a one-dimensional team. We have to have a real good running back, Landry Locklear. He's a very good a senior, one of the few seniors on the team.
Yeah, it seemed like every time I was looking at another name to circle, it's always junior, sophomore. They have a lot. They're going to be a good team next year because they're bringing a lot of these guys back.
Well, and I think it's going to be tough to have that quarterback pressure because they have number 13, who is, like you're saying, Jackson Payne, which I guess if your name's Jackson,
it's just constant.
You have to play
it's
quarterback.
Absurd.
But he's a junior, 6'2". He's their quarterback. He averages about 12.5 yards a catch, 123 yards a game passing. does a real good job. But one thing you'll find, and we'll talk about Gilliland here in a second, number 7, they like to come in with him. He's also done some quarterback, mostly running back, or what do they call that, where the running back lines up, gets a direct snap.
Wildcat,
thank you. And so he does a lot of that, but then about the time you think, oh, he's back there to get it, we better rush him, then he passes it 25, 30 yards down the field and gets it that way. So number 7, you're going to see him. He's rushing 38 yards a game, and then also passing on top of that. That Locklear is averaging about 77 yards a game. So if you can shut down their run, they got a lot of receivers, but I think our defensive backs can hang with them. Their biggest receiver is Wyatt Geisler. He's actually only 5'8", 155 pounds, but he's averaging 78 yards a game. And so I think if you can do that, I looked at some things with them that I think will work to our advantage. When you look at them in district, on offense, Bethany averaged 301 yards a game. We are averaging closer to 400 a game. On defense, they're allowing the other team to get 258 yards a game. We're holding people down in the low 200s, and so there's a little bit right there that I think gives us the advantage, that I think we can pull this out. But they are going to have to get a lot of those cheetahs, a lot of those people sneaking in, make the quarterback not know where it's coming from. A lot of his receivers are sophomore, junior receivers, don't have that much experience, but they do have about 3 or 4. You got number 21, 22, 23.
Yeah.
You got 17. You got 88, who's a big tight end, and he's a good one. Keep an eye on him as well. So I believe some of the players I'm looking for is to see how their quarterback does. He can throw in the pocket. He can also throw on the run. You cannot give up on your receivers. And so that's one of the things that I'm looking at right there. If we can shut down their run game, or make them have to pass it, I think we have a good chance of really blowing this open.
Yeah, you mentioned Geisler. He's a guy I'm keeping an eye on for sure. They got in the stats here, 67 yards a game for him. He's kind of been clearly their highest receiver. Next closest guy's got 18. So kind of tells you their go-to guy in the passing game. Geisler, a junior, Payne junior quarterback. And then defensively, Judson Gilliland, who his older brother wreaked havoc here for a while for the Broncos. Leading tackler last year as a young guy. Leading tackler again this year has 47 tackles on the season. That's the most of anybody on their defense, even though he's just a young guy. Finding a way to keep him linebacker. They have a lot of young guys on their defense that are talented and making plays. Keeping the theme of younger brothers too. Evanson Malaska, really good cornerback for them. His older brother, Joe Malaska, if you remember, year or two ago, might have been last year, year before. It's hard to keep track sometimes, but he went to Texas Tech, was a really good player at the high school level. He's younger brother him. So they have some talented guys coming up. Like I said, they're not in a rebuild, but they are kind of in a bit of a transition from last year's group to kind of that next crop, I guess, the next core coming up. So they have a lot to like here. This is obviously a good team, 6 wins, 4 in district, and they're not going to be going anywhere moving into next year either. Then another younger brother, too. And you mentioned 88 tight end. That's Charlie Tolley. He's a junior. His older brother, Peyton Tolley, which is a big monster here. He's a pitcher right now at Wichita State.
Oh, wow.
But he was just 6'7" behemoth, basically. That was a major problem. That's thankfully for Newcastle no longer on the team. Taylor Heim, also a guy that was a big problem on this team for a while. Kind of was a do-it-all guy. Defense, caught passes, would throw passes. He's at the University of Oklahoma right now as a defensive end. So they're replacing a lot of big pieces of their team from last year, but they're still really talented, a lot of young playmakers, and they're going to be a fun team to watch. And, you get yourself into trouble when you start doing the transitive property thing, but if you look at the common opponents between Newcastle and Bethany, obviously Newcastle lost to Blanchard by 15, Bethany lost by 20, so about the same. But the Tuttle game stands out because Tuttle hammered Bethany 30-10.
Right.
And obviously last week we know Newcastle very easily could have won that game last week. And again, transitive property gets yourself into some trouble sometimes, but that's something that can give you a little bit of confidence if you're a Racers fan coming into this game. All right, we'll go ahead and take another timeout here. We'll continue to set the scene from SNU. We're about 10-ish minutes away from kickoff, the Racers and the Broncos. When we take a timeout, we come back. We'll hit some of the other games tonight that we're keeping an eye on in Foray. We'll let you know what else is on OSN tonight. And we'll continue to set the scene for this one, the Racers and the Broncos, right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list. Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting?
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
Back at SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network, getting you ready for this one. Newcastle and Bethany, final game of the regular season tonight. Winner gets third place in 4A2. Loser will have to settle for that 4th spot going into the playoffs next week. So we're going to look at the schedule ahead, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wing Tuesdays, boneless Thursdays. Why not any day of the week? Make it Buffalo Wild Wings. 9600 service I-44, just minutes away from Newcastle. Wings, tenders, burgers, and so much more. Like I said, last game of the regular season is tonight. Playoffs next week, and we'll have it for you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're either going to be in Elk City or we're going to be in Clinton. Depends on what goes on tonight. A Racer win, and we go to Elk City, which is where we were last year when the season ended, first round of the playoffs. Or we go to the Tornado Bowl, which is one of the more unique settings in all of Oklahoma high school football out there in Clinton. Could be headed there. We'll find out, obviously, at the end of tonight's action. That'll either be 7 or 7:30. Sometimes in the playoffs, the kick times get pushed back. That's like an OCA thing. I think the schools, if they agree, can move it back to 7. It gets weird. So just check with us. Check with Newcastle school website, Facebook pages, things like that, to make sure you know when the game is. But either way, we'll be on the air 30 minutes before kick for pregame. And then, obviously, you'll have the game for you right here. Nothing changes. We still have the stream. It's still live, free, all that good stuff in the playoffs next Friday night. And then 2 weeks from now will be the second round of the playoffs. Obviously, if the Racers win, we'll have that for you on OSN as well. Wherever that may be, it could be really far. There are some very far potential options in a couple of weeks. I'm looking at you, Poto. That's basically Arkansas.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but that's not ideal.
No, that's like
for anybody.
Australian rugby next door. I mean, it's just way out there. You go to where it's the end of creation and take a right. It's just out there.
Yeah, it's not close, to put it lightly. It makes the game next week look close by comparison. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but we'll be with you every step of the way throughout the rest of the postseason. As far as the Racers go, you can turn to OSN to have the games every single Friday throughout the rest of the year, and Billy and Gina still have the coaches show throughout the rest of the year, right? Keeping that going into the playoffs?
Yes, we are.
So that's cool.
We'll do that until right after the last game. Yeah, we'll have a kind of a finish
wrap
of the
up
season.
One.
Right?
That's cool. So, yeah, make sure to tune in on that on Tuesdays as well throughout the rest of the year. So the teams are getting ready to run out here about 5-ish minutes from kick. Mentioned Tuttle and Class and SAS was last night. The Tigers took care of the Comets 23-zip. So Tuttle finishes in the 2-hole. The Comets go 0-7 in district play. There's a couple other games tonight, although they don't have any impact on the playoffs. But if you're curious, Blanchard's in Tecumseh tonight. Again, the Lions already won the district. Tecumseh's obviously out of the playoffs, but they want to finish with another win there. There's that. Then Bridge Creek and Harrow are playing tonight. The winner of that will finish 5th. So probably a game that those two teams, obviously they're not going to the playoffs. It's final game of the year, but they probably want to win it and get to that 5th line and have a good feeling and vibe going into the offseason. Elsewhere in 4A, there are some other notable games. Miami is taking on Wagner tonight. Wagner's 9-0. They're undefeated. Miami's in the playoffs. That's a playoff team trying to keep Wagner from an undefeated season. Hard to do. They're really, really good, and they're in their buildings. That's going to be tough. Key one tonight as well, Ada and Broken Bow. Broken Bow's, there is an absolute log jam in District 4. There's like 3 or 4 teams that are 3-3, I think. District, like, it's very bunched up. Broken Bow is in that group. Ada's going to be in the playoffs, but Broken Bow really needs that game against a good Ada team, so that's a tough one. And then elsewhere, this game's actually on OSN. We have a playoff game tonight. Cash and Chickasha are playing. The winner of that game makes the playoffs. The loser is not. So that is essentially, obviously, a playoff game tonight. Cash and Chickasha, and that game is on OSN. So if you want to get a second screen up, Billy Palmer and his crew with the Bulldogs. That's a fun game because that's 2 teams that coming into the year probably felt like they could make the playoffs. Everything went right. And here they are, 1 game for it. One team's going to feel great about their season, and one team's going to be disappointed sorely because they probably both feel like they should win that. So that's a big game tonight on OSN. Cash and Chickasha, winner to the playoffs, loser is out. So that'll be fun to watch tonight too.
Wow, yeah, and that's probably a lot like this. I mean, imagine if these teams were just one notch down. You know, if this was a 4-ranked team playing a 5-ranked team, it'd be kind of the same thing. And you know, at the first of the season, they thought we're going to be in the playoffs. Every team thought they'd be in the playoffs, or at least most of them. Yeah, I think that'd be a very interesting game if you can kind of keep a side eye on that one.
Get that second screen. Yeah, get your phone out or something. So it looks like the Racers won the toss and are taking the football to start the game, which we've seen them do a little bit more of than in previous years this year, Coach Brickman and this staff. So it'll be Newcastle football first here at SNU. Just a few minutes away from kickoff. We'll go ahead and take one last timeout, and when we do, we'll have, when we come back, I should say, we'll have the ball game for you. Racers, Broncos, kickoff, and the other side of this break right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting?
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
All right, back at SNU. We're just moments away from getting this game started here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Glad you found us wherever you did. We're on Facebook tonight. I just checked we are. Had some problems last week until we're on Facebook tonight. We're on YouTube. We're on, obviously, the network, Oklahoma Sports Network, oksportsnet.com, the OSN app, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, Roku. Lots of places to watch us. It's a 9-game Friday to close out the regular season tonight, including our own. Elsewhere on OSN, Fort Gibson and Hilldale. That's a bravado game. Carl Albert trying to complete their perfect season against Piedmont. Really sneaky good game right there. Carl Albert and Piedmont, Lawton and Capitol Hill. MacArthur's got Noble tonight. Big game for the Highlanders. They need that to make the playoffs, I believe. Midwest City, Elgin. That's a double OSN game. That'll be fun to watch. That Cass Chickasha game I mentioned earlier. That's essentially a playoff game. Altus and El Reno, and then Muskogee has got Stillwater. So we got some really good games on OSN tonight. Get out a second screen, get out your computer, whatever, tablet, iPad, whatever. Get a second game going. It's a good night for football on OSN, the final Friday of the regular season.
Oh, and just love it. Friday nights are for football. I mean, I don't know what you do the rest of the year. I miss it. By the time it's done, I'm tired, but then I'm ready for it to be summer all over.
Just about ready to get this one going. The kickoff brought to you by Auto Accessories Unlimited, specializing in custom paint and body for cars, trucks, boats, RVs, you name it. Paint and body collision repair and modifications. 5600 Huetner Drive in Norman. Give them a call at 405-360-8855. So the Racers will start with the football. Caden Longman, TJ Bradford back to return in the road whites with the black pants, black helmets. Bethany in the home black jersey and black breeches, white horseshoe helmets, and the purple numbers. Interesting kick formation here. Well, that was that was a lot of eye candy. Billy Collier.
I had a Kansas City Super Bowl flashback.
Doing the kickoff here will be Ruslan Calderon. He's a junior for the Broncos. As we get this one going, glad to be with us. Final Friday of the regular season on OSN. He gives it a boot. Longman back on it, fields it just inside the end zone. And it's like he called a fair catch, so it'll be a touchback out to the 20. And here comes Jackson Burt and the Racers offense. No Jackson Shaniel today. Obviously, he was banged up a couple weeks ago against Class and SAS. Gave it a go against Tuttle. Played for a while, but ended up coming out toward the end of that game. Tonight, he is out. We'll see if they can get him back for the playoffs, but that means tonight it will be the Jackson Burt show from start to finish, Billy. And obviously, we talked about the team bouncing back. How does Jackson Burt bounce back from obviously playing a really good game, but that tough fumble at the end last week? That'll be a big question mark and something to watch tonight. First play of the game is a run for Bradford up the middle. And not a whole lot there. Back to the line of scrimmage, looked like. Burt rocking 2 gloves here, by the way. I don't think I've seen him really do that at any point. We've done 3 full seasons of Jackson Burt as a starting quarterback. I don't recall the double glove look. Well, interesting.
Well, and I think that was a defensive line kind of calling out. They're going to play a 4-3 most of the night, but they're calling out the offensive line saying, we're here.
2nd and 10 after the first down run. Burt will keep it this time, wrapped up, nowhere to go. Got back to about the line of scrimmage again, maybe a yard at most. I think the tackle there, I think that was Bryson Miller, maybe, number 4.
I think so, either him or Jake Stearman.
Jersey was a little scrunched up under the pads. It might have been, I think you're right, Jake Stearman, number 3. That makes more sense. Defensive lineman, senior for the Broncos. Now 3rd and long coming up.
I need to open up that pass game if they can. Oh.
Probably going to have to now. Almost got some jumps there. After 2 runs don't go anywhere, it'll be 3rd down and long here for Newcastle. Burt back to pass. He'll fire to the far side looking for Schumard. And he caught it, but his foot on the sideline out of bounds. And so a real quick 3-and-out forced by this Bethany defense. Can't ask for much more for the Broncos there than that. 2 shutdown run plays and incomplete pass.
Well, and that's a tough way to start. They testing the run game. And you know that Brickman is a chess player out there, so he's going to see how they make some adjustments. He'll make his adjustments, and we'll see that. Now let's see how the defense can hold them.
So back to punt is Burt. Him and Batchelder kind of split the punting duties. They have Burt going here, and he gets a line drive. It'll bounce at about the 45-yard line and takes a big-time roll. That might have been touched by Longman back near midfield. And it looks like that's what they're ruling. I think that he kind of gave it a little bit of a chest bump forward.
Yeah.
And official called it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of playing limbo with it right there, and so you're getting out of the way. So it's going to bring it back out here to the 49-yard line.
So that's where the Broncos will set up camp. 10:39 to play in the opening quarter. And our first look at this Broncos quarterback, Jackson Payne, goes by Jackie, junior quarterback for the Broncos. In the backfield with him will be Judson Gilliland, who we mentioned, the sophomore, kind of does a little bit of everything, really good on the defensive side, but he can hurt you on the offensive side too.
Yeah, and number 17 there, Strotter. He is a really good running back, strong runner as well. So they got some power backs in there.
Strotter, 5'7", senior. And we have whistles on the first play. It's going to wipe this out. False start.
Yeah, it looks like the guy that went into motion up at the top of your screen, he curved out towards going forward a little too soon.
As they back up, we'll thank our first quarter sponsor, which is Chris Dumm, All-State agent. Chris knows what life is like here in Newcastle, that you choose your car and your home to fit your lifestyle and your budget. He also knows how important it is to do the same when it comes to insurance. He looks forward to getting to know you and helping you find the solutions that meet your needs. Call them today at 405-392-2390. First down play, second try at it. Strotter up the middle, not much there. Kind of like those Newcastle runs earlier. Maybe half a yard, if that, for Strotter on first down.
Looked like the first one there was a defensive end there, Aiden Elcision. He got in there and grabbed him. You saw 33 collapse on the other side. Also looks like they may be putting Elcision in at defensive tackle a little bit too.
They do give him a yard on the board. So it's called 2nd and 14 here for the Broncos. 4-wide set, low snap, fire. I pump faked it, faked me out, and then being wrapped up, getting up all over him, you know who, Taj Smith there to drive Payne to the ground.
That was great defense right there. You saw a big 45 there, Jaron Webb. He stayed right there in that gap, and Payne was not going to go around him, so stood in there long enough for big Taj Smith to come wrap him up and take him down to the turf.
So 3rd and long now for the Broncos. They're on their own 46, got to get to the plus 41, plus 41. So you got about 13-ish yards here. Snap to Payne, back to pass, clean pocket, fires to the middle, got a man, it's caught. First down and more inside the 35 and down near the 30. The long pass and catch there to Brock Cross. We mentioned Geisler's their number 1 guy, but Cross is their number 2 option, and he comes through with a big long catch there to put the Broncos down to the 31.
Yeah, and that's a good tackle there by Bird. I don't know if you noticed that. He went down there and got the tackle after the shot, after the pass. So that's something you're going to see most of the night. It's going to be to different guys, I'm afraid.
That was a seed of a throw by Payne, too. Stepped up on a 3rd and long and picked that up, and now another penalty. So the Broncos false start again. That
steps
flag
forward.
went flying in.
3 steps forward, 1 step back.
And so, again, they'll be looking at 1st and 15. Bit of a gut punch there for the Racers. You had them backed up 3rd and long, obviously behind the sticks, the original chains, and able to pick it up. But another opportunity here with the penalty, 1st and 15 coming up.
Well, and you see the defensive line looks like they're holding up pretty well. They're not getting past the line, but they are keeping them right there. I think that's going to shut down any run that they might have through there. But Payne is an excellent passer. You saw right there. Excellent quarterback, good eyes, and hitting the open guys.
8:35 and counting the play here in the first quarter. First possession of the night for Bethany. 1st and 15, handoff. And a pitch play goes back, and it's loose on the turf and diving on it for a massive loss. That's 21 Geisler, who was the attempted target on the pitch, I believe from Strotter.
Yes. Well, you got to give that one to T.J. Bradford. He came in and he didn't even hesitate. He knew his guys were going to catch up with the pitch man, and he just put the pop on that guy. So that kind of messed with his head pitching that ball.
So a near disaster for Bethany there. It works out to just being regular bad rather than just complete disaster, because now you're set up back at the 45, 2nd down and 24. It's being called officially for the Broncos after the penalty and then the big loss on the errant pitch, and now more penalty flags. So a sloppy start here for the Broncos. Outside of that 3rd down pickup, you've had now 3 penalties and that near turnover on the snap. It's actually a delay of game is what it's being called. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 29 after the penalty.
Well, and that's something they'll have to look at. They didn't huddle. So I'm not sure how it was, it could be a delay game. Just took some time getting the play, I guess.
So 2nd down and 29 now after that penalty. All the way back in midfield. Back to passes. Payne slips a little bit, bouncing outside. Couple of racers chasing him. He's loose down the sideline, and we'll just have to eat it. No, he did throw it. He threw it away. Incomplete. So it'll be an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 29, after the incomplete pass. Got rid of it right as he was going to that sideline.
But and you just got to wonder what he was thinking. You had big Taj Smith and big Hunter Berry just right there on your feet, and so I'm sure he was ready to get to that sideline.
So it'll be 3rd and 29 for Bethany. 7:28 to go in the opening quarter. They picked up a 3rd and long already on this drive, but this is a 3rd and really long.
Yeah, you think about it, on this series, they have gained 1 yard.
Yeah, good point. 3 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Fired to the near side. This is a catch by Payne. He split out wide. The pass was thrown to him by Gilliland, who lined up at quarterback. So that was a little bit of trickeration there. Gilliland came in and threw it out to the quarterback, and now kind of coming to the sideline a little bit gimpy as Payne, kind of letting that arm hang a little bit. Might have taken a bit of a shot there.
Yeah,
he's frustrated coming to the sideline. He just hit his helmet down, hoping that's just a stinger for Payne, and it's going to be 4th down, and the Broncos will have to punt.
Well, he goes right back out.
On the punt formation here, that's interesting.
Yeah, he came down right on that side, and you see a lot of times players when they do that, they'll grab that shoulder and collarbone area. Looks like they're going for it.
They were going to have him punt, but there's whistles right before the snap.
And a flag.
Might have been another delay of game. Took a long time to get out there. And that's exactly what it is. Delay of game again. So that's 4 penalties, I think, on that drive for the Broncos. That's not something that you'll want to make a habit of. And certainly, if you're Coach John Arthur for the Broncos, you're pulling your hair out a little bit right now. That drive was promising, but you just shot yourselves in the foot too much. The penalties and that bad pitch kind of gave yourselves no chance, really.
Yeah, and they're really going to have to make some adjustments on those penalties. They have more penalty yards backwards than yards forward after all the loss. You know, you'll get a 5-yard gain.
So 4th and 25, and obviously they will punt this. I say that. There it goes.
Oh, no.
As Calderon boots it, and it's not a good one. A bit off the side of the foot, goes out of bounds. The Racers are going to have pretty solid field position going back the other way here. We'll see where they mark it. 6:23 to play in the first.
There he goes. 36.
And officially marked, at the 36-yard line, and that's where Burt and the Racers offense will get back out there and have a second try at it. First drive went nowhere. 2 runs, I should say, up the middle for nothing, and then the incomplete pass. So hoping for a little more success this time around.
Well, let's see what they call from the other side. It looks like it's going to be a timeout, which is usually a good sign for us.
Yep, official timeout. 6:23 to play in the quarter. We'll go ahead and take it with them. Racers, Broncos on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Back at SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Newcastle Racers, Bethany Broncos. Final Friday of the regular season. Newcastle taking over for their second possession on their own 36. They run up the middle for Bradford, breaking some tackles, carrying guys with them out near the 45. That looked like it was going nowhere. Then all of a sudden, Bradford is out near the first down marker almost.
Well, and that looked just like the other one. He went to the right side instead of the left side, but where they shut him down at the line of scrimmage last series, he pulled out 8 yards, 7.5 yards on that one. That was a great play.
TJ Bradford has been so good for Newcastle this year. 2 more touchdowns last week in the loss to Tuttle. Gets a carry here, and this time not going anywhere. Might have lost a yard, maybe a half yard, and sets up a 3rd down and a long 2, maybe short 3, depending on the spot.
Well, just watching them come in, I just kept wondering how many white helmets can come in and hit one guy. They just all lined up right there, and he went nowhere.
So 5:32 and counting to play in the first quarter, and 3rd down coming up for Newcastle. Still searching for their first down of this game. Still obviously early, but trying to move the sticks here. 3rd and 2. Man in motion was Jordan Lane. They go back to Bradford the middle, running hard, nothing there. Broncos bottle them up. That's going to be another 3 and out for Newcastle, and we'll see if Coach Brickman is feeling a little risky here early, if he wants to just punt and play defense.
It looks like he's going to. I think that's a good call. A good call. Just punt, get them back deep. That's one thing they got to do is get them back deep.
Yeah, I don't mind punting either. I mean, it'd be one thing if your offense was firing, but you've had 2 drives that didn't really go anywhere. So trust your defense. I think this early is an okay move.
Well, they're struggling on offense.
I say that, and now here they go. That's a penalty.
Oh, wow.
As a Bethany defender on all that motion jumped And that penalty is going to result in a first down. Look like the Broncos, I think that was number 50, Hank Durst, a senior.
Let's see what they call it.
They might call this on Newcastle. We've seen this happen once before, and that's what they are going to do. They're going to call the penalty against the Racers. Wow. So a bit of a surprise to everybody.
Yeah, you don't see that very
Faithful
often.
was thinking, oh, no. The Racers are saying, how? But it's a penalty on Newcastle. We saw that exact thing. I can't remember which game it was, a couple weeks ago on a fourth down where they were lined up to punt, motioned into what looked like a potential fake, and then it resulted in a defender jumping and giving a first down. And now Newcastle wants to take a timeout and talk it over. So on 4th and 7 with 4:08 to go in the first quarter, the Racers take their first timeout of the evening. Billy, are you just simply going for are you just going to punt this away still? I mean, it's 4th and 7 now.
I don't know. This is such a weird thing. I would have figured, timeout after the third down, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. I thought that'd be a good place. But I am not going to pretend to be a coach either,
right.
At all. And so I don't know. He may be looking. I know a lot of those players play both ways, and so he may be just giving them a little bit of air to breathe. So there's a lot of things that could be going on over there. I wouldn't pretend to understand Brickman on everything he does.
As teams get back out, I want to make sure we let you know that, obviously, we're not the only OSN team that'll be in the playoffs next week. This is where things stand coming into tonight. Only 2 OSN teams eliminated from playoff contention coming into tonight. Kind of gives you a little catch-up here. So we're going to have a lot of playoff football on the network next week. Pretty cool. Obviously, we pull for our Racers, but also everyone on the network to do well. And as you can have a quick little look around there, a lot of teams will be playing postseason football next week. That's all the options coming into tonight. So kind of cool little look at the OSN teams. A lot of playoff football coming your way on OSN next week. So, teams are back out there. It'll be 4th and 7, and it looks like they will go ahead and punt. Now we got more penalties. So, it's a penalty-laden opening quarter. The Burt punt takes a nasty Bethany hop. That went straight backwards to midfield. And that's where it was down, but we'll see what the penalty is. If it was false start, the play should have been blown dead. So, I'm curious to what this call is.
Yeah, me too, because if it's not a false start, if you're Bethany, you take that kick. That's only netted about 12 yards on it. So,
waiting for the official call here. Motion to the press box.
Dead ball, false start.
Yeah, so decline. It never makes sense to me. False start should kill the play.
Right. Well, if it happens before the play, then should you be able to decline it?
Right.
That's kind of my mentality.
Well, no harm, no foul in the end. Bethany takes it at midfield. 3:59 to play in the first quarter. All about the defenses here early. Neither team has really had much to write home about other than Bethany picking up that third down on the pass. It's been a lot of defense so far. Starting up in midfield, handoff here is going nowhere.
Wow.
Judson Gilliland bottled up for a loss of 2. Taj Smith having a nice start to his night.
Yes, a very good start, man. He's been all over the place. Usually he's gathering blockers, and tonight he's getting in there and cutting off. Gilliland tried to go up to the right and go vertical on that, and he was right there, wasn't going to let him. So
a 2-yard loss makes it 2nd down and 12 for this Broncos offense, trying to get something going themselves. Now at the quarterback spot here is Gilliland again. Bethany keeping Newcastle on their toes. A quarterback Payne split out wide here on the near side. Bottom of your screen. Fake the handoff. They're going to throw to him again. Here's Payne catching up at the 45. Cutback move. Nice tackle in open space by Lane. Saves what would have been a first down. But it is going to be 3rd down and short coming up here for Bethany.
Yeah, and it looks like Payne, again, came up a little iffy right
He's
there.
in Payne?
Yeah. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, man. But, yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that going forward.
So, yeah, Payne's to the sideline. You're right. Just still kind of holding that shoulder. Trying to gut it out right now, but clearly in some discomfort. For the moment, it's Judson Gilliland, the sophomore, in at quarterback for the Broncos. 3rd down and 2. Gilliland going to keep it on the direct snap here. Cutback move, running hard across the 40, falling forward, and that should be just enough for a Broncos first down. Didn't get it by a lot, but he got it. And moved the sticks.
They gave him a pretty rough spot right there. They brought it back maybe a little bit of a yard, so he barely got that one.
So down to the Newcastle 39, 1st and 10 Bethany, 2:30 and counting to play in this quick-moving first quarter. A lot of run plays, Not a lot of stoppages just yet, other than, I guess, those penalties. 1st and 10. Gilliland still your quarterback. He rolls out to the right, maybe a little option play here, but he'll keep it running. Heartbreaking tackles. Undercut. Is he still up? He gets across the first down mark. Looks like they are going to say he was down on that first effort. Didn't get the first down, but not short by much. So 2nd down and maybe 1 or so coming up here.
And you saw that. That was Lovejoy, one of the top tacklers on the team, just came in and hit him and still didn't get him down.
Bounced off, yeah.
Yeah, Heskey went down towards the thighs and took him off his feet. So
down to the 30-yard line, makes it 2nd down and 1. Back in his Payne again. He's on the near side here, just outside of the frame, or about on the 30-yard line, painted on the field. Gilliland still at quarterback. 4-receiver set. Fake the handoff. Gilliland will throw. Step up in the pocket, runs into his own guy, and he's buried. A sack in the backfield there. Who else? Aiden Elcision. If it's a big play in the backfield, it's either him or Hunter Berry for the most part. Those are your two guys. Those defensive ends have been so good for Newcastle, especially in the second half of the year. And there he was again, sets up a 3rd down.
They have been great, and what you really want from your defensive ends is just don't let the play get outside you, and that's what you're seeing against Tuttle last week. You're seeing it this week here against Bethany. They're not flying up the field and getting out of position. They're just kind of getting in there, making a fence so that they can't get it outside and getting the tackle.
So 3rd down and 3. That was a big play. It was 2nd down about 1. He lost a couple there. And now you got 3rd down, and we have whistles now. Coach John Arthur and the Broncos want to take their first time out with 41.9 seconds on the first quarter clock. Feels like a big early spot here, Billy. Obviously, if you can find a way to get a stop here and force them to either make a decision or potentially just punt, I mean, that'd be a big win. You got to try and find a way to keep them off the board as long as you can right now to give your offense some time to figure it out.
That's right. This is huge. If they get a first down here, they're just 9 yards off the red zone. Mm-hmm. And so with the passing, and don't turn away from the passing job that they do. About the time you think you got it bottled up running, they'll just toss it over your head. I've seen that in a lot of video this week. So this is a big down right now. If they can hold them to 4th down, make them have to decide to go for it or not, I think you put them in a place that they feel uncomfortable with.
Yeah, somewhat ironically, their most effective target in the passing game has been Payne,
right.
The quarterback, who's split out wide a couple times, and Gilliland has found him. And so we'll see if that's what they go to here, if they put Payne back into the more traditional quarterback spot. Looks like they're going to stick with Gilliland at the QB spot here for this 3rd down play. Payne split out wide at the bottom, being covered by Jordan Lane.
And he's really paying for those 2 passes.
Yeah, he's been banged up a bit.
I don't know if I'd go back to him.
3rd down, Gilliland gets a direct snap. He does a little pitch move, but again, whistles and flags on the snap. As coming on the sweep play there was Geisler, and he had the ball with room, but the penalty blows it dead. And we'll see who it's on. It's on the Racers. Encroachment on Newcastle. So the penalty goes against the black and blue, and it results in a 1st down for Bethany. So a tough penalty there goes against Newcastle.
That's not a good one that you want. That's 2 of those, one right at the end of their offensive series and right here on the defensive series. Mm-hmm. Those are 2 painful penalties.
So 1st and 10 now for Bethany off the penalty at the 28-yard line, 27-yard line. Pitch outside, Geisler, and he's wrapped up. Nice tackle in the open field by Burt. Slung him to the ground. That was Payne back at quarterback, by the way. They're keeping us on our toes here, the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch if he's see if he's right-handed or left-handed, because I know it's his right shoulder that he's kind of been holding on to. And so I hope got a head there. So I'm hoping to see, how he does back there at quarterback.
Where is his throwing right now?
Yeah.
Under 10 seconds to go in the quarter. They don't have to snap it again. It looks like they will. Last play of the quarter, more than likely. Little delayed screenplay, covered well by Newcastle. Geisler catches it, makes a couple guys miss, does a good job. Oh, a massive hit on the sideline there by Burt again. Boy, that was a little fortunate to not be flagged. It was really close.
That was
violent. I think the Bethany sideline is saying that exact thing.
Oh,
but he got away with it. Big hit. That was a slobber knocker right there.
It was.
Not much gain there for Geisler. Did a good job not to lose a bunch. And it'll be a 3rd and long coming up when we start the second quarter. 1 quarter in the books already. No score yet. Bethany and Newcastle on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Second quarter on the other side of this break.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back at SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network, Carson Wade on the production, Scott Cassidy filling in on the camera work for us, doing a great job. We moved to the second quarter, no score yet between the Bethany Broncos and the Newcastle Racers. Newcastle, a couple of empty possessions. Bethany turned away on their first drive, trying to get it going into the end zone on their second possession. They have it inside the 30-yard line, but a 3rd and 9 coming up here for the Broncos. Payne's going to throw. Got a couple guys down there, but he just overshot him a little too far. Looking for his man on the far side. Caden Longman came crashing down for Newcastle. Would have been a big hit if he had caught it.
It'd been a damaging hit.
Yeah, so it goes incomplete. Now you got a big 4th down here. Billy, what are you doing for Coach Arthur and the Broncos?
Well,
Wind's in your face right now, heavily.
I think you're going for it. That pass did not look that bad, that Payne just threw, and I was worried about that arm. It didn't look that bad, just looked like bad placement. Maybe the receiver slowed down, so I'd definitely go for it.
4th down and 9, and they are going to go. Payne rolls out to his right, trying to find somewhere to go. Fires over the middle, pass caught inside the 10, bouncing down the sidelines, and he's in. Touchdown Broncos. That's Brock Cross, who's in from 26 yards out. It was very nearly deflected away, but by the slimmest of margins, Payne slipped it in there to Cross, and he housed it.
Well, and that's just a game of inches. Bradford came up. He was covering somebody else. Came up, just got outside his grasp, and that was one of those times that just there wasn't enough defenders in the area to stop all the offensive guys. So,
26-yard touchdown toss from Payne to Cross makes it 6-0 Broncos. Extra point here on the way is up and through. And with 11:47 to play in the first half, the Broncos hit the scoreboard first. Timeout on the field. Racers get the ball back after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list. Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
Back at SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Broncos on the board first. 26-yard touchdown pass on 4th and 9 from the quarterback Jackson Payne to the wide receiver, Mr. Brock Cross, that is. And the Broncos on the board first. Obviously, a tough sequence there, Billy, as Newcastle almost had a big stop on 4th and 9. But the Broncos found a way to pick it up and then some, got in the end zone. And now how did the Racers' offense respond so far? 2 drives, 2 3-and-outs. So we'll see how they bounce back.
Yeah, they're going to have to make some adjustments. Over the season, they've not done well when being down, so they're going to have to get back here.
A little pooch kick here. Will be fielded by Jordan Lane about the 20-yard line.
Oh.
Lane's got speed, makes a couple guys miss across the 30-yard line. Decent starting field position coming up for the Racers.
Well, if he could have got out of that last one, I think with his speed, he would have got through that hole and got quite a bit more green. But they got him and grabbed him and twisted. So he went down. They've got to make some adjustments now. I can't help but think, come out passing on first down. Catch him off guard. Everybody in the stands is expecting CJ to take a handoff and try and go up the middle. Let's see if we can mess him up a little bit. And it looks like it with 4 receivers.
Like you said, 4 receivers set, 1st and 10. Bradford, the running back, fake it to him. Out in the flat, this is Jalen Lane, and he gets popped, trying to go all the way across the field. He's got the speed to do it. If anybody does, it's Jalen Lane, and look at this. All the way to the far side, ends up getting across the 35. A late flag comes in. Jalen Lane ran about 50, 60, 70 yards or so there to gain about 5.
Yeah.
We'll see what the penalty is.
Well, I tell you what, I was over here puckered a little bit when he cut back over there to the Newcastle side, but he showed some speed.
He ran in the backfield about 5 solid yards into the backfield to get around that edge. We'll see what the call is here.
Oh, I have a feeling it might be holding. It looked like a receiver out there trying to get ahead of him.
Official call, and that is indeed the hold. So far in this game, penalties have been a big part. Bethany's first drive derailed by some flags, and the Racers have had a few very untimely ones of their own here in this first half.
When Jalen's over there going, thanks a lot, man. I just ran 80 yards.
That's a lot of effort to actually lose 10.
I could have fallen down at the 26.
So they didn't give it was a spot foul, so it's about 1st and 16 here. Burt, play action, got all kinds of time. Fires to the middle, got him in. It's Lane, and he missed him. Was a little behind him, but probably one that Lane to tell you he should have.
Yeah, it was.
It's 2nd down.
And keep an eye on 23 as well. He was far back behind the defense. So let's see if they open that up a little bit. I don't think it'll be on this down, but let's see if they open that up a little bit and back up those linebackers and defensive backs.
So the incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 16, 11:21 to play in the second quarter. Racers offense has just not had a rhythm so far. Bradford up the middle here.
Ooh.
Runs forward for about 4 before getting popped, and now you got 3rd and long again for Newcastle.
Yeah, he got hit. He got hit pretty hard right there. So 3rd and 12. He looked like, usually he pops up just springboarding, and it looked like he was a little slower getting up that time.
So 3rd down and 12. They're on the 30. Got to get to the 42.
They need this first down. I'd keep an eye on number 4 down here. Remember him last week.
Yeah, Rex Heskew was certainly the go-to target on key 3rd downs. Play action. Burt rolls out to his left. Back to pass. Got a couple guys down there looking for Jalen Lane on the bomb. He had it off the fingertips. Incomplete. Trey Burchett also was streaking down the sideline on that far side. Nobody within 20 yards of him. So a major missed opportunity there for Newcastle. Both Burchett was wide open, and then Lane also right off the fingertips.
Well, that was a great pass, and you got a feel for Jalen. He hasn't dropped hardly anything all year. It's just sad that it happened right there.
Wind was at their back there, probably helped Burt maybe get a little extra loft on it, and it was a great throw, but comes up empty. Punt here for Racers, booted away inside 35, fair caught there. And that's where the Broncos will set up on offense. 10:38 to play until halftime. Do want to make sure we thank here while they get the offense back out there to the Broncos. Our second quarter sponsor, which Contemporary Family Dentistry. See them up in the right-hand corner there. Their number one goal is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Come in and experience the difference. 1117 Northwest 32nd Street. Give them a call at 405-387-9300. So 10:38 to play until halftime. Bethany offense back out. The Racers have had 3 drives and don't have a first down to show for it yet. Been a quite an effort from this Bethany defense so far.
Well, you're going to need something from the defense to take that momentum away.
Yeah. Racer defense has been pretty good so far, but the big fourth down conversion for a touchdown on the last drive certainly hurts. Payne back to pass here. Pressure in his face. He's going to have to just throw this away. Launches it. That might reach the stands almost. Came up just short. He would have made sure that thing was getting out. A couple of guys crashed down on it. It looked like both the defensive ends were in there, Alcision and Barry.
Yeah, he had to throw that pretty high to get it over the outstretched arms of number 43 there, Alcision. So I was up here looking to just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and unfortunately it fell down at the fence.
So 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Good pass rush there from the Racers. Forced Payne to just get rid of it. Here at Southern Nazarene, where the Broncos play their home football games. Obviously great facilities out here. Like coming out here every other year. Big crowd tonight. Lots of fans in the building for the Broncos and the Racers, and we've got a timeout here taken by Bethany. Coach John Arthur sneaking one in, 10:28 to play until halftime. We'll go ahead and take it with them. Racers trying to get a stop to get their offense back out. Timeout on the field on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again. We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma because we wouldn't be a community without you.
Back at SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 10:28 to play until halftime. Broncos have got 2nd and 10 here coming up after the pressure on Payne had to just get rid of it for an incomplete pass on the throwaway. Interesting formation here for the Broncos. A couple of running backs with Payne. He'll fake the handoff, back to pass. Going to have to be spread out again here. And again, a lot of Racers crashing down on him. Payne will just flip a dangerous pass and will go incomplete. Did a good job to put it where really only his guy could have even conceivably had a shot at that. Was looking for Braxton Mullins, junior receiver. Goes incomplete, though, and 3rd and 10 coming up.
Well, now is a good time for the defense to step up. They needed that. It's just 3rd down right now, but they're stepped up. I thought it was 4th down. I guess not.
No. The throwaway and then that play. That's all we've had so far.
Okay.
So it'll be 3rd and 10. It's where you want to be for Newcastle. 3rd and longs, although it hasn't really gone that way so far. Broncos have picked a couple of these up. Payne going to fire here, going down the sideline. Might have overshot it, incomplete. You can see Caden Longman reading that the whole way.
Yeah, that had 2 dangerous things on it. Caden almost intercepted it. 2, I think if the receiver had pulled it in, he would have got a lot of Caden on the, putting him on his backside.
So incomplete pass and a lightning quick 3 and out for the Racers. 3 straight incomplete passes, and they get the football right back with 10:13 to play until halftime.
And they needed that stop. They needed that 3 and out.
For sure. Newcastle team not really built to play from behind. Play a lot of good defense, run the ball. It's not typically a position you want to be behind on the scoreboard. Heskew fielding the punt here. Nice open field tackle there by the Broncos. Cade Sweat, senior, coming in, saved quite a bit of yardage, I think, there. As Heskew looked like he maybe had some room to work with if he could have made that first guy miss.
Yeah, he saved about 25, 30 yards right there before anybody else would have got to him.
10:04 to play until halftime. Racers get the football back. And this is where, too, and not to blame Jackson Burt by any means. He had a great throw to Lane that obviously went incomplete, but this is where it's kind of sometimes nice to have that other quarterback option just to kind of have a different look for the Broncos here. But Jackson Shanuel not available today. Burt going to fire over the middle. Got a man, that's Jordan Lane, and it's off the hands, incomplete again. And, boy, Jordan Lane, nobody was near him there. If that hits him right in stride, he may still be running with the way he can move. But another incomplete pass. And the Racers right now, obviously Bethany's playing some good defense, but the Racers are beating themselves here. Some big missed opportunities.
Yeah, that's, again, we joke around saying it's a game of inches, but that was one of about 6 inches, 10 inches, a little closer to him, hit him in stride. We may be talking about a touchdown right now.
So incomplete pass makes it 2nd down and 10. They will run it with Bradford here on the outside. Nothing there. Broncos crash down on him. Good tackle. They're setting that edge and getting home. I think that was William Wallstedt, maybe, number 80. Kind of hard to read the jersey. It's kind of scrunched up. Could be Ethan Herron, like. Number 30 also. Kind of hard to read.
Yeah. It's Mr. Squiggles out there on the tackle.
So 3rd down and 10 now. The run doesn't go anywhere. Where do the Racers go right now? Having a hard time completing a pass, but also can't run the ball. 3rd down, Burt back to pass. Got time. He'll fire over the middle, and another drop looking for Jordan Lane, and again off the hand. So these guys for Newcastle have been so good all year, so reliable all year. Right now having a hard time just crowding the football, and that's 4 straight 3-and-outs for the Racers offense.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot to talk about here in about 9.5 minutes there at halftime. And I don't know what's going on. These are usually passes that are you don't even think about. They grab them and they go.
Especially that one right there. I mean, that was about a 5-yard little kind of over the middle, nobody really around. That should have been a completion for sure. So Burt has to punt it away yet again. It'll be fair caught inside the 35. Ooh, boy, some bobbling in there for Geisler, but he does pull it in, and the Broncos will set up on offense. 1st and 10 back at their own 21. So we've had 2 drives that have taken about 70 seconds of clock the last 2 possessions. I think Bethany got it with 10:28 to start their last drive. It's now 9:17 after both teams. Wow. That's what a bunch of incomplete passes will do for you.
That's what I was about to say. When you come out and all you do is pass. Well, they had 1 run. But when you come out and just pass it, that's what happens. The clock doesn't run.
So we'll see if the Racers defense can keep it up. You know, right now, if you're Newcastle defensively, you're just thinking, find a way to give our offense as much time as possible to figure it out.
Well, and again, just hold up. They're playing good. Hold up. Don't let them pass you. Another 3-and-out gives them a chance to score before halftime.
So 1st and 10. Payne takes a snap. Handoff here up the middle. Got some room to run. Bouncing outside. Bradford had a shot at him but couldn't quite get him. And then Jalen Lane comes up, makes a nice tackle on Schroeder, the running back. Gets about 8 yards or so. Sets up a 2nd and short.
And you see number 13 getting up there out of the pile as well.
Yeah.
He's not far behind. But that was a good run. Just kind of caught him stunting in trying to get to the quarterback.
Almost like a draw type of play, and it worked pretty well. Racers kind of settled back, and there was a lot of room once he broke through the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 2. Pitch play here. This is Schroeder again.
Oh, great
and
job.
Birch does a good job to wrap him up right about the 35. That'll be a 1st down for the Broncos, but Newcastle did a good job to keep that from being a much bigger play, but it is a 1st and 10 for Bethany out to the 35.
Yeah, that was a great job by Burchett. He took on a block and came and kind of knocked him backwards, and he came to and went over there, but he's still sitting on the ground.
Yeah, injured player down, you're right, for the Racers is Trey Burchett, who's obviously had some problems this year getting banged up. And they're taking a look at him right now. Hopefully he's all right. We'll go ahead and take a timeout here. 8:46 to play until halftime. We'll get back and give you an update on the injured Racer down here, Trey Burchett, after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Back at SNU, 8:46 to play until halftime. Bethany Broncos lead the Newcastle Racers 7-0. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on OSN. Glad you can be with us on this final Friday of the regular season. Both these teams will be playing playoff football next week, but where? Against who? That remains to be seen. That'll be determined by the end of tonight's action, though. We'll know where both these teams are headed in the postseason next week. Run up the middle here to Gillen, running hard for about 4 or 5.
That was a good job. Lovejoy just stood his ground right there. He did go backwards, but he brought him down with him. That was good. That's kind of like a fullback handoff that you'd see, and just before the line knows that he's through there.
So you're seeing Coach John Arthur and the Broncos, that last drive, 3 straight incomplete passes so far this possession, all run plays, and keeping that going here up the middle. Gillen running hard, wrapped up right at the sticks. I think this is going to be enough for another first down, and it is. They're moving the chains again. So the Broncos, again, that last possession, a 3-and-out in about 15 seconds of game time on 3 straight incomplete passes. This time they've kept it on the ground and so far moved the sticks twice.
Well, and it's smart of them. You don't want to let the offense out. There's going to be a time when Newcastle figures something out.
1st and 10 up to the 47. Bethany on the move here. Certainly the best their offense has had it going since their touchdown drive right at the very beginning of this quarter. Gillen, the man next to Payne. Strotter behind him. He'll give it to Strotter. Nothing there. Racers bottle this one up. That was well done there. Racers all over it. Looks like Bradford maybe had the initial contact. No gain. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he got in there. He got in there fast, and they just hit and kept hitting and kept hitting. They weren't going to let him go this time.
7:15 and counting to play in the first half. Be sure to stick with us at halftime, of course. The bands will perform here at SNU. And then Billy and I shall ready for the second half. Give you some scores around the state. We'll go and peek in on a couple of those potential playoff opponents next week, see what they're doing. Get ready for the second half. Pass here on the near side, and they're going to give it to him. A toe-tap catch by Garrett Johnson. I haven't said his name yet tonight, a junior wideout. That ball kind of just fluttered over to him, and he did a great job to pull that in and get the toes down.
Yeah, that was a real good job. I wasn't sure. Of course, I got helmets in the way there as well. I wasn't sure if he pulled that one in.
Yeah, right there, right at the sideline. Hard to see. We have essentially the exact same vantage point you do on the stream. Scott is literally directly in front of us. He can't hear me right now, but I could. If there was no window here, I could poke him. Don't have that option. 3rd and 5. Back to pass here. A lot of pressure on his face. A little mid-screen play. It's caught by Geisler, bouncing outside across the 45, wrapped up by Lane. It's going to be depend on the spot.
It's going to be
really close, boy. It looked like when he first caught it, if Geisler just went north-south, he would have had it, but he bounced it outside. And, boy, the 2 possessions look vastly, or 2 spots look way different, and they're going to go with the near side, which is a first down. I was going to say the official on the far side was a solid yard short.
Right.
But the official who was spotting it on the near end had enough, and they do get it by just the nose of the football, first down.
Wow, and they are really taking time off that clock.
So down to the 43, 1st and 10, Broncos, 6.5 to play until halftime. Direct snap here to Gilliland. Runs forward, carrying a couple guys. Ball came out at the end of that. Racers dive on it. Are they going to say it was out? They do.
Yes.
Newcastle really needed that. A fumble and a turnover. Newcastle comes up with it.
Boy, that was a break they need. That is something defense need to come out. Let's see if the offense can come out and get some breaks as well. See if that lightens them up over there.
You talk about needing a turnover. That's where Newcastle was right there. Broncos were just pounding it down the field, running it right at the Newcastle defense. Didn't have a lot of answers, but they come up with a huge turnover. And now can the offense, who's had 4 possessions and are still looking for their first down, what can they get going here? 6:17 to play until halftime. Run for Bradford up the middle here. Not a whole lot there again. Gets maybe a yard. That's what's killing Newcastle tonight. Obviously, their offense has been built all year on ground and pound and then kind of complementing it with some passes and some shots when they're there. Right now, they're not running the football.
No, he's had 1 run past 5 yards, and they're just really piling in. They know he's going to run inside. They've seen it all year, and so they're just really closing it up.
1 yard, all they can get. 2nd down and 9. 5:48 to play until halftime. Jet sweep here to Jalen Lane coming around the outside. Not a whole lot there. There's a flag down, probably going to be holding, and the Broncos might decline it because he loses about 3 or 4 more. And right now, Coach Brickman and the Racers are trying different things, and just nothing's working.
No, there's such speed on that defense. They're getting to the edges faster than we've seen this year, so they're cutting that off. So
we'll see what the call is here. But again, I think if this is on Newcastle, you probably decline this. If you're Bethany, you're looking at 3rd and 13 or so, and it is a hold, and they're going to take it.
Wow.
Nope, they're going to decline it. They were starting to mark it off, but then Coach Arthur made sure to let the official know, nope, we don't want that, which I think is the right move.
Yeah, and then they put the ball in the wrong spot, I think.
Yeah, they have it's not there.
There you go.
Now they're backing it up. I was going to say, he definitely lost about four or so.
Yeah.
So here comes a 3rd and long for Newcastle.
You need to get some hands.
Late sub here for Bethany. Just got him off. 3rd down and long. Burt rolls out to his left. Going to fire. Got Heskew. Incomplete. Would have been well short anyway. And the Racers, for the 5th time to start this game, go 3 and out. And right now it feels like if you're Newcastle, you're just trying to survive to halftime. And try to fix something in the 20 minutes you have in between the 2nd and 3rd quarter. Because right now the Racers offense looks as befuddled and lost as we've seen in 4 years doing this on OSN.
Well, they just look like something's missing. Something's not connecting. And, drop passes. That pass there was about a yard behind him where he couldn't get back to it. Just things like that.
So the punt is away. We fielded inside the 30 and fair caught there. That's where the Broncos will start on offense with 5:27 to play until halftime. Can the Racers' defense continue to keep Newcastle within shouting distance down by just a score? Certainly only need one really big play to flip this whole thing. You thought you maybe had it with that fumble. But Racers offense can't do anything, and now they're back on defense now trying to just hang on to the 1-score deficit.
Yeah. Well, watching on video, they don't do a whole lot of throw over everybody's. They'll get a lot of their yards throwing the slants and stuff and then running after catch. I don't think Newcastle lets them run too much after the catch. I hope I'm right still.
So 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line. That's where Payne and this Broncos offense starts. He'll keep it. Bounce outside, not a whole lot there. Got maybe a yard or 2 at most. A couple of guys in there on the tackle. Looks like I saw Ian Barker among them. Longman in there as well.
Hunter was over there. I guess his shoulder's okay. He's running pretty strong there. They were going after the ball right there and didn't get it out.
Yeah, if you tuned in late, Jackson Payne, the starting quarterback for the Broncos, split out wide, caught a couple passes early in this game and came up really favoring his shoulder. We thought, not that he was definitely out, but he looked like he was in a lot of pain right here in front of us on the sideline, but he's stuck in there, and it hasn't seemed to bother him. 2nd and 8. Payne, pump fake out in the flat, trying to find somewhere who's going to go deep. Down the middle of the field looking for a man. Oh, boy. Incomplete. That was a really good throw by Payne. He dropped that right into his guy, Brock Cross, who caught the touchdown earlier. That was well defended, too, by Newcastle. That was just a good throw. Very easily could have been caught.
Rex Heskew knew the flavor gum he had in his mouth. That's how close it was to him, and he just got his hands in there right at the right time.
What kind of deodorant he uses? What kind of shampoo?
Right.
All right, 3rd down and 8 here, 4:38 to play until halftime. And another opportunity for Newcastle to get a stop and get their offense back out there. That's all you can do right now if you're the Rakes. Just keep giving your chances and hope that eventually you figure it out. 3rd and 8. Pass out here on the far side is caught. Big hit out of bounds. He is short. That's a good play by Bradford to get on the receiver, Braxton Mullins, and pop him out of bounds. And it's short by a few yards, 4th down about 3, and there's no reason right now, if you're Coach Arthur and the Broncos, to push your luck. The way your defense is playing, you punt.
Yeah, get them as far back as you can is what Bethany is thinking. Make them start from the 10 if you can.
So they will punt it away. Back to return for Newcastle. I think is that Heskew or Longman? That's Heskew, number 4. Punt is away. Heskew back to field it about the 30-yard line. Got a little bit of room here. Makes the first guy miss. Makes another guy miss. Nice return by Heskew across the 40 to the 41.
Yeah, that was a great job. Great job by Jordan Lane. I don't know if you saw him. He was going in for a block, and then when he saw he was behind the guy, just kind of stood up, did the typical raising of the hands. I didn't do anything. I didn't hit him. And opened it up for Heskew to get probably about 7-8 yards.
So 4:22 to play until halftime. Here comes the Newcastle offense again. Obviously plenty of time, 2 timeouts, but Newcastle 5 drives, no first downs so far. 6th crack at it. Burt, handoff to Bradford, got some room. Here's the most room they've had. Bradford first down and then some. Cutback move inside the 35 to the 30.
That's what they needed.
Biggest offensive play of the night for Newcastle by just miles. A 30-yard run for Bradford down to the 30, and Newcastle's in business for the first time.
Well, and if you'd have told me that it would be 4-13 before they got their first down.
You thought they might be down 20 points.
That's right. So being down just 7 and coming up on the red zone.
Good look at that run on the Eric Ledoux State Farm instant replay. Newcastle has it 1st and 10 at the 30. Burt faked the handoff slant route, incomplete, looking for Schumard. And it'll be 2nd down. Like I said, you saw that run from Bradford on the Eric Ledoux State Farm instant replay. Eric Ledoux is your State Farm agent here in the Tri-City. Call him with any insurance questions or needs you may have at 405-392-3992. And remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Incomplete pass to Schumard makes it 2nd and 10. 4:09 to play until halftime. Almost got a man to jump, and he did.
Yep.
That's going to be another penalty on the Broncos. Had a couple near ones so far, but they actually get them this time. That's big. That takes from 2nd and 10 to 2nd and 5. When you're Newcastle right now, you're struggling to move the ball. Yes. 3 yards, yes.
Take it. And big number 50 right there. If he moves, if he hiccups, you can see it.
So 2nd down and 5 now. Bird will keep it up the middle. Not a lot there. Black jersey swallow him up. He got maybe a yard. And it'll set up 3rd down. This is definitely 4-down territory at this point in the field. You maybe trust Batchelder from here. You do have the wind at your back. So we'll see. But more than likely, I think 4-down territory.
Well, and I wonder if this is a Heskew down right here. He was just on it last week and just so good. So I wonder if you open it up and get about 4 or 5 yards to Heskew like you did last week.
So 3rd down and 4, 3:34 and counting to play until halftime. Burt, handoff to Bradford, bouncing outside, trying to get that corner. Diving forward inside the 20. 1st down, Newcastle. Quite the effort there by T.J. Bradford. And for the first time tonight, the Racers have cracked the Trinity Restoration red zone. Top quality roof repair, restoration, Trinity Restoration. Call them at 405-695-7040. 1st and 10, Newcastle at the 19. Burt goes back to Bradford again. Got some room up the middle. Big hit, but not before he's down to about the 13. First time the Racers offense has shown any semblance of a rhythm right now. Bradford going to come off there after that big hit.
Yeah, that was a good run. The last 2 runs have just been total effort, and he's just had to bounce off people and take some good hits. So it's a well-deserved rest for him. Looks like they brought in Caden.
Yeah, Caden Longman in. Obviously, the running back spot has been one that the Racers have been really beat up this year. Burt has it. He'll fire near side pass call. That's big. Antonio Brown inside the 10. We'll see if they give him the 1st down. It's going to be really close.
He has been waiting for that pass all year long. I am so happy Big Brown got that. That was an excellent catch. He put the hands on it. Believe it or not, I think, is that the first reception tonight?
For Newcastle? It might be. It might be. Yeah, it's a good point. It might be. So they do say short, but not by much. This is 3rd down and certainly less than a yard. But you have no Bradford, no Trey Burchett went down earlier in this game. Obviously, Bolster and Rice both out for the year. Pass on the flat, caught by Longman, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 5. So with Caden Longman, the 3rd-string QB, and I guess essentially the backup QB now, with Shanuel banged up, and your 5th running back option, he spreads him out and he catches it inside the 5. Racers have it 1st and goal.
Well, and that was excellent getting the ball to him as fast as he could because that defensive back had just had a beat on him. If he'd gotten there a half second later, it could have been an interception or a collision.
This would be a massive response if the Racers could find a way to get into the end zone here. Still got a little work to do. 1st and goal at the 2. Burt takes a snap, looking for a receiver, fires with the middle, incomplete. Burt got wiped out in the backfield. That was a bit of a dangerous pass. There was nobody really open.
Nobody.
It'd be 2nd down.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that ball was going. His receiver stopped. I think if his receiver kept running, they'd have met up.
This is a tough spot right now because, like I mentioned a moment ago, think about where you're at with the running back spot right now. Bradford just came out. We saw Burchett go down earlier. We don't know his status right now. Carson Bolster, Brady Rice, both out for the year already. Burt will roll out, little option play, trying to get to the pylon. Diving forward, he got blocked by his own man, it looked like. And now it'll be 3rd and goal from about the 1, or maybe even inside the 1.
Well, and I got to give it to Britt Cross.
Here comes Bradford back in the game.
Number 9 right there for Bethany. He just shoved Longman into the way of Burt. And
it worked. I think Burt, I'm not going to say for sure, but I think he might have got the pylon there if Longman didn't kind of fall into his path. And now here comes 3rd and goal. T.J. Bradford, like I mentioned, back in the game. Very good chance he gets the ball. There he goes. Bradford to the right side. Diving forward. Is he there? Racers think he is. Waiting for a call. They're saying he's short.
Yo,
They're saying he's
man.
short. They're marking him right at the goal line by just a hair. It's 4th and goal. And I think you got to go for this if you're Newcastle. You're talking about inches right now.
Yeah, I think this is where you might bring in big number 77 and big number 45.
I would run the ball with Taj.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not. But you get what I'm saying. You do run behind him, that's for sure. So as we near the 2-minute mark to play until halftime, Newcastle desperately trying to get into the end zone and onto the scoreboard. Do you just run forward with your big quarterback? I think that might be what they do. 4th and goal. And with whistles, and Bethany wants to take their final timeout.
Smart timeout.
It's a big play, big spot in this game. So certainly can't hurt to make sure all your ducks are in a row with a $1:51 to play until halftime. Obviously, Billy, huge spot. What are you doing here? You just running your big QB up the gut?
Well, if you looked at that, at the left side of the line, you had 2 on the line. You had your guard, your tackle. Then you had Big Elcision. You had Todd Smith right behind him, and you had him back there. That may be the place to run. You got 4 huge guys, some of the biggest guys on the team, blocking there for you.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they ran somebody in motion to put a 5th guy over there into it. So I think they had the right thing. I still think this would be a great time to pull out number 45, Jaron
Heavy
Webb.
J.
Yeah, Heavy J. I mean, the dude is muscle from neck to knees, and he could probably run through it, especially running behind those big guys like that. So,
obviously, Jackson Burt, your quarterback here, is 6'3". He's over 200 pounds. It hasn't been easy tonight by any means, but you just feel like, you run behind your guys, Taj, maybe Heavy J, some of these other big linemen, and just say, we got to find a way to get half a yard.
Yeah. Well, if you're Philadelphia, you already know what you're going to do. Look how close that is to the end zone.
A little brotherly shove? Could be. That would be interesting.
That would be.
Could see it. We'll see what they do. Hunter Berry, Taj Smith, the big blockers to the left. Burt takes the snap, going right behind him, not going to stop that.
Nah.
Easy money, walking in, touchdown, Newcastle. Racers really needed that.
Oh, big time. That was great blocking. Nobody even got near him.
Just walked in.
You saw Big Elcision making a roller out of his guy, just rolling him down the end zone. So that was a great play. That's what Newcastle needed, especially going in at halftime. They needed that, and I think that will lift the defense, especially since half of them are defensive players.
So no Batchelder on the extra point here. It's going to be Dupler doing it. Spot down, kick is up and through for Caleb Dupler. And with 1:45 to play until halftime, we are all square. 7-7. Timeout on the field. Broncos see what they do before halftime. Racers defense back on the field after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting?
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
Back at SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Racers get a big-time touchdown they really, really needed right before the half here to tie it up 7 apiece. 1:45 to play until halftime. Bethany's got 1 timeout to work with, so we'll see how aggressive Coach Arthur is. Did the Racers just do the same thing?
They did the same thing.
They haven't done that once this year,
No.
so what other conclusion can I draw?
I know. Yeah.
You know, without me even saying it, you know.
Turn into Samoan warriors out there.
Mono-y-mono. So they'll boot it away. Dupler gives it a
good kick.
boot. It'll be fielded just in front of the 10-yard line. Got a little bit of room to work with. Wrangled down just past the 30, and that's where the Broncos will set up on about the 32, looks like. So 1:44 is what the clock reads. Like I said, the Broncos have got 1 timeout. Certainly could be aggressive here and see if you can't get down the field a little bit.
Well, I think this opens up some options for the defensive backs because you've seen them pretty aggressive this year. And at times where it's obvious that the offense was going to go pass, they come up with a few interceptions. That'd be really nice here going into halftime, maybe a pick 6 even.
So here comes Payne in this Broncos offense. Got the touchdown right at the very beginning of this quarter on that 4th down. Since then, hasn't had a lot of rhythm. 5 receivers set, no running backs. Payne will throw over the middle, pass caught by Geisler. Makes the first guy miss, diving forward about the 40. Obviously short of the marker. Clock will keep running. This is where the Broncos only having that one timeout will start to hurt them a little bit. Because you got to just go, and the clock's going to keep on rolling.
Well, and that was a good job. Again, a lot of their yardage comes after catch, those yaks. And so they kept him very few yards.
2nd down and 2, 1:20 and counting to play until halftime. Payne splits his man Strotter out. He'll fire in the middle, pass. Ooh, dangerous pass, goes incomplete. T.J. Bradford had a look at that. And we'll go to the turf harmlessly with 1:13 to play until halftime.
That could have turned this around a little bit. That pass looked more for Bradford than it did his own receiver.
And now if you're Bethany, you got to think, if we throw the ball and it goes incomplete, we're going to give the ball back to Newcastle with about a minute. And they've got 2 timeouts to work with. So how does that factor into Coach Arthur and his decision-making here on this key play before halftime?
Well, I'd do a draw right here and then call timeout if you don't make it.
3rd down and 2, 1:13 to play until halftime. 3 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. They will run up the gut.
No, he didn't do it.
Nothing there. Bottled up immediately, and it's going to be 4th down as Strotter had nowhere to go.
No, there's Heavy J coming up off the bottom. He went in and grabbed the legs, and now you got Newcastle calling timeout.
Yep. Coach Brickman goes ahead and uses his 2nd timeout with exactly 1 minute on the first half clock. So he's going to force Bethany to punt this. And then maybe, it could be one of those spots where you kind of see where you're at after the punt, if you get a good return, and go from there. Either way, the Racers are going to have a little bit of time and 1 timeout. So they have a chance here to maybe try and push things and try to see if you can't sneak a lead for halftime.
And their punter, Bethany's punter, has done 1 kick on the run and also 1 set kick in the back. So there may be a chance that he kind of does that little run kick to see if he can get 2 yards running it. So there may be a chance of that, a chance of a fake.
So we'll see what they decide to do. 4th and 2 is what it's called officially. Racers totally bottled up Strotter on that 3rd down run. Both defenses have been really good. You got to give Newcastle's defense maybe a little extra credit even because you go down, your offense goes 6 straight 3-and-outs to start the game.
Yeah.
I mean that's a lot of you being on the field, and they've found a way to keep hanging in there and keep getting stops. Gave their offense time to eventually figure it out. They did. They tied it up, and now you got a chance to maybe get the ball back here before halftime.
Yeah, I think this would be a good time for Jordan Lane to get some catches.
Heskew back to return on this. It's a good punt. Backing up, fielding it inside the 20-yard line at about the 15. Heskew trying to make some guys miss. Does get past the first guy. And he's tackled down about the 25 with 50 seconds to play till halftime. That's what you need if you're Bethany in terms of a punt. That was a nice boot.
Oh, excellent. That's the best kick he's had all night. Good catch there by Caden Long. You remember last week?
Heskew.
Heskew. You remember last week they had a drop in the same kind of situation. So that was a good catch.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 26. We'll see just how aggressive Coach Brickman and this Racers offense is here. Burt has it. They are going to throw on 1st down. Going to fire deep, looking for Heskew down the sideline. He overshot his man. Goes incomplete. 44.8 on the clock.
Wow. So only lost 5 seconds. I keep thinking that some of these should open up in the middle, and something else you might look at just on a strange thought, especially since you have a timeout. They're playing way back. Those linebackers are probably 5-6 yards off the line of scrimmage. This may be a time to send a C.J. Bradford right up the middle.
So 44.8 seconds. They reset the play clock there. Second and 10. Burt takes it. Hand off Bradford up the middle, trying to make a couple guys miss, and he is wrangled down for a short gain. Newcastle goes ahead and burns their last time out with 35.5 on the clock here. Broncos still have one the other way, so they could conceivably use it if they stop Newcastle and get the ball back with obviously not a lot of time. No. But we'll see how the two coaches elect to play this last half minute. Again, stick with us at halftime. We'll have the bands performing here at SNU. Billy and I will give you some scores from around the state on this final Friday of the regular season. And we'll also get you all set and ready for the second half here from Southern Nazarene in Bethany, Oklahoma. Fun way to end the regular season. Two good teams. Again, if you unsure what exactly is at stake tonight, both these teams are going to the playoffs, but the winner gets third in District 2. Loser settles for fourth. Obviously, that changes your matchup and your path moving forward. Loser of this game will all more than likely be headed to the Tornado Bowl, take on District 1 champ Clinton, where the loser, or the winner, the loser will go to the Tornado Bowl to take on District champ Clinton. The winner, more than likely, will take on District runner-up Elk City next week. So we'll see how that all shakes out at night's end. So 3rd and 7, 35.5 to play until halftime. We'll see just how aggressive Newcastle wants to be here.
Yeah, it looks like you got them lined up over there. You got Schumard and
3 at the top. Yeah, both the lanes, I think, and then Heskew's at the bottom.
Not sure what they're waiting on.
Yeah.
37, Jim.
Oh, okay. Just got told they're putting 37 back on the clock.
It's at 35.5 right now. Yeah, it might be what they're waiting on. They get the couple extra seconds tick back on.
Yeah, the guy they had up here, they're really taking great care of us tonight. He was walking back through here and just said, I don't know what they're waiting on. And right at that time, he happened to be in the room and said they're putting 37 seconds back. It's like, oh, okay.
And there they go. They do get 37 seconds on the board, so a second and a half added back on. And here we go. 3rd and 7 for Burt and the Racers. Handoff to Bradford up the middle, running forward. And only gets a few. And I don't think the Broncos are going to use their last timeout. I'm not sure. Newcastle, they used their last time out there, and then they just ran the ball anyway. Kind of I don't know, a little interesting. Maybe trying to catch them off guard a little. I mean, obviously we know Bradford can break some big ones. They don't have to snap it again. It looks like everybody's okay with that. 10 seconds and counting. It looks like we may be headed to halftime all square at 7 apiece, and that looks to be exactly the case. So there you have it. At the end of 2 quarters, Newcastle 7, Bethany 7 here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Been a fun, defensive, slobber knocker, slugfest game. A lot of running the football, not a lot of big plays so far, Billy. Feels like just kind of which offense can find a way to make more big plays down the stretch is going to be the one that wins it.
No, I definitely agree with that. It seems like both of them do good getting some distance, and then they get called back on some penalties. There's some plays that kind of fallen through, had a fumble. It looked like it was going to be on a first down, and they fumbled it. And so just a lot of things just seems like one team's not been able to take the momentum and just put it to the other team. It does feel like Bethany has had most of the momentum tonight, but they still haven't obviously been able to pull away.
So there you have it. After 2 quarters, it's a 7-7 ball game. We'll see which team can find a way. These two teams played a double OT classic last year, and so far we're all evened up after 2 quarters tonight. So we'll step aside here for halftime. Like we said, stick with us during the stream. The bands are going to perform here at SNU. You can watch that right here on the broadcast. Then Bill and I will rejoin you in about 20 minutes or so for the second half. We'll get you some scores around the state on this final Friday of the regular season. Stick with us. Halftime show next right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Tell you what we usually do at halftime when the band's getting ready to play, we turn this microphone on. So if you need to go, it doesn't have to move or anything. It's that way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's on the white side, and but yeah, that the cord is like it's burned out or something. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the 2023 Bethany Boys State Champion Concussion Series. Bethany beats the state runner-up Cass Bulldogs by 16 points to win the series 13-7. 168th, and Oliver Thompson rounded out the boys team at 116th. Bethany coaches and runners thank the Bethany parents, student staff, and community for their support all season and at regionals and state. They are currently taking donations for championship rings for the team. If you'd like to donate, visit BroncoXC.square.site. Or during the third quarter, from a member of the cross-country team with a QR code you can scan. Let's get the 2023 state champions radio. And now, please welcome to the field, Bethany's own marching band. Bethany's own marching band is under the direction of Stephen Sharp, Bristol Wilcox, and Maddie Wilson. The band would like to thank their corporate sponsors, Shane's Plumbing and Veterans Marine Canvas, for their generous support this season. Bethany Band has completed another award-winning season, earning superior ratings at the LSSA Regional Marching Festival in Enid, Oklahoma, and outstanding field show of the day at Conroe Marching Festival. Bethany Band would like to thank the band seniors for all their hard work and dedication. Bethany Band would also like to thank Miss Kayla Price for all her hard work with the band. Drum major, is your band ready? You may take the field for your halftime performance. Disney Ford Lincoln has been helping Oklahomans with their automobile needs for over 70 years. We're a fourth-generation family business that understands what it is to make it worthwhile by experience and easy one. The next time you're in the market for a newer premium car, shop their SUVs. Call the name you've trusted since 1954. Dippy Ford Lincoln, 20 minutes west of Metro on Interstate 40 in El Reno. Experience the Dippy family difference. Dippy Ford Lincoln is also a proud sponsor of Bethany football and J.P. Grassmith Memorial Scholarship. Dippy Ford Lincoln has donated over $22,000 in scholarships to Bethany athletes in the last 15 years. Dippy Ford Lincoln in El Reno. We also like to thank Ortho Central, proud sponsor of our half-gallon presentation. Ortho Central, proud supporter of Bethany schools and your experts for treating orthopedic and sports injuries. Whether it's a strain, a tear, or break, the pros at Ortho Central will get you back in the game. For any injury for any athlete, Ortho Central provides superior orthopedic and sports medicine treatment. Don't let an injury make you miss a spring play. At Ortho Central, they turn setbacks into comebacks. Call 405-360-6764. That's 405-360-6764 to set an appointment today.
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting.
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back at SNU. We're just getting ready to start the second half here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Newcastle 7, Bethany 7. Third quarter just about a minute and change away from getting going. Give you a few scores here as we wait to get the third quarter rolling in 4A tonight. This final Friday of the regular season. Poto well on their way to an undefeated season. They're housing Stillwell right now, 41-13. We mentioned Cash and Chickasha tonight. That's essentially a playoff game. Winner moves on. Loser season is over. It's on OSN, and it's a good game. Fighting Chicks 16, Bulldogs 14 in that game. That's going to be a fun finish the rest of the way. Recommend you get a second screen out for that one. Mentioned Ada Broken Bow, an important game in District 4. Ada leads at 21-14 at the break there. Blanchard all over Tecumseh 22-0. Well on their way to finishing their season 9-1. Hera beating up on Bridge Creek 28-0. Looks like the Panthers are going to get that 5th spot in District 2, which obviously doesn't do anything for you other than just good vibes going into the postseason. Clinton and Elk City both taking care of business as expected, so it does look like it'll be Clinton if Newcastle loses this game tonight, and Elk City if the Racers win in the first round of the playoffs next week. Elsewhere, Wagner 21-7 on top of Miami. It looks like the Bulldogs will go undefeated there, although Miami is still hanging in just a bit, only down 14 in that one. So that's some scores around the state tonight in the 4A level. Billy, as we get ready to start the second half here, what's Newcastle got to do to get maybe a little more offense going and get over the hump and try to win this thing?
Well, my English teacher would hate it, but a lot. There is a lot of things they need to do. We got the statistics here at halftime, and they have 79 total yards.
Yeah, that's just not going to get it done. Yeah.
That is not going to get it done, especially going into the playoffs and such. Now, they can turn it around. It's almost like they just weren't clicking. They weren't connected. Only 12 yards passing. But you would hear that. You'd think 79 yards total, 12 yards passing. You'd think, wow, they're getting blown out. Here we are at halftime tied up.
The defense has picked them up so far, yeah.
Right. So I think you just need to talk to the receivers, get their hands like they usually are. You need to kind of maybe mix it up a little bit more than you have been. But the defense has been playing real good. And, again, Bethany only has 117 yards.
Right.
And so they're 28 yards rushing. And so they're not having their game either. And so I think you just need to tune up some things, get their minds back where they've been all season and play a little harder and execute a little harder.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times against a team that's going to be a playoff team, in Bethany, a good team, a team that's got 6 wins, you're thinking 73 yards at half, we're probably in some deep trouble. It's a tie game, like you said. Defense is playing well. We'll see if they can keep it up and if the offense can find a little more groove as we get going in the second half. Second half kickoff here, presented by Auto Accessories Unlimited. Second half, final half of the regular season. Dupler boots it away. It'll be running in and fielded just inside the 20-yard line by the Broncos here. I think this is Cross. It is. Breaks the first tackle, and he's across the 30, breaking tackles everywhere. So a nice return there by Gavin Cross. He has the lone Broncos touchdown in this game tonight. Brock Cross, excuse me. And a solid return there sets up the Bethany offense 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line.
Well, and they just have a lot of fight to them. It almost seems like it's kind of shocked Newcastle, the amount of fight that they have in them. They're usually bringing them down, good technique tackling. It seems like they're running through the first tackler tonight.
Thank our third quarter sponsor here, which is Heat and Air Guy. There is no AC unit, residential or commercial, that shall defeat the Heat and Air Guy. He's there to protect you from surprises. For all your heat and air needs, call today at 405-305-5734. First down play here, handoff, a little delayed, kind of awkward looking to Strotter. Ended up getting a solid pickup out of it, though, of about 6 or so. Good first down run for the Broncos to Strotter.
Excellent run. You had Barry having a hard time getting out of that block to get over there, but was able to detach from him and bring him down. Pardon me. And so they're going to have to hold him a lot tighter than that.
2nd and 4 after the 6-yard run. Jackson Payne, the quarterback for the Bethany Broncos, in this important 4A2 matchup. Final Friday of the regular season. Pass on the flat here to Geisler. Nothing there. Good tackle there in the open field by Ian Barker, number 3. Looked like maybe Geisler had kind of got by him. Did a good job to wrap him up and pull him back for no gain.
Boy, they did a great job. There were 3 blue jerseys and 2 white jerseys, and for both of them to get around their blockers, be right there to cut him off, I think he may have lost a yard or so.
So 3rd and 4, a chance for Newcastle to get a quick 3 and out and get the ball back here to start the second half. We'll see what they do. 3rd and 4. Payne checking with his sideline, flanked on either side by Gilliland and Geisler. Payne has it. He's going to fire on the flat quickly. Pass is caught, sliding right at the 45-yard line. First down for the Broncos. Nice catch by Garrett Johnson. That was not an easy grab at all. The throw from Payne was a little low and outside, but he got down and slid to make the play, almost like an outfielder in baseball. Nice play.
Yeah, he got down underneath that and just caught right there on the sideline. It was close. It looked like his foot may have even been out, but it was a good catch.
So to the 44-yard line, the Broncos will set up 1st and 10. Big first down there to try and get this offense rolling a little bit for Bethany to start the second half. Geisler split out. Handoff will go to Gilliland up the middle. Spinning 4, not a ton there. Good tackle by Lovejoy on the initial contact. And a Broncos offensive lineman down. Looks like that's Abel Salcedo, senior O-lineman for the Broncos. In a heap on the field at about the 45. Looks like he's in some pain here. The Broncos staff out to look at him. We're going to take a timeout here while they attend to him. 9:58 to play in the third. 7-7 ball game on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back at SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, Carson Wade on the production, Scott Cassidy outside working the camera for us. Good to see Saucedo come off the field under his own power, gingerly, certainly, and slowly, but under his own power. Good to see. So hopefully he's all right, can get back out there before too long. Meanwhile, back to the action here. 2nd down and 7 for the Broncos offense. This is Payne taking the snap. There's Gillen, running hard and wrangled down, I think, for a first down here right with the 45.
Yeah, that's one of their staple plays. You'll see that quite a bit. They give him a first down right there. He's a strong runner. Last time, I think he flipped it to the back. This time he just took it and went forward as hard as he could.
Yeah, you've seen Judson Gilliland a lot tonight go into that quarterback spot. And he's thrown it a couple of times, but more often than not just takes off running to either a gap in the O-line or around one of those edges, and it's been pretty successful. He's still at quarterback now, 1st and 10. It's going to be a run up the middle here and twisting down. That's, I think, Devontae Melton. We haven't seen him get the ball at any point in this game tonight for the Broncos, but came into tonight defensively as their second leading tackler, Melton, and he gets a carry there for about 3.
Yeah, they're just getting some extra yards, and what's really tough about that is that they're using time. They're not just rushing up there and running.
Under 9 minutes to play in the third. Broncos marching down the field on the ground, and that's going to be a false start. And I think this is one of those everyone but the center moments because everybody was going except for the man who hiked the ball, so it kind of lets you know where it's headed. So the penalty goes against the Broncos there. Back them up 2nd and 12. Yeah, you know when you get about 4 or 5 guys, including the quarterback, leaning forward, that's
right.
They weren't all wrong.
That's right. I used to tell my son, I got to figure out how many people are wrong for you to be right. And that's one of those situations. How many people had to be wrong for the center to be right?
So the penalty backs him up, 2nd down and 12 on the 47. You'll take that if you're Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
Fake the handoff. Gillen thought about throwing it, said he's going to take off up the middle. Big hit. He'll get a few, but it's going to be a 3rd down and long coming up for the Broncos. That was a good job by the Racers there, covering up the pass, and then when he took off, collapsing down on him for a short gain.
Yeah, that was a good hit. That was big number 13, Burt, coming in and hitting him on the run up there and stopped him right dead in his tracks. He didn't go an inch farther.
It seems like we've seen Burt get more and more ferocious defensively as the year has gone on, too.
Surprisingly. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah. 3rd and 9. See what the Broncos like to do here. Gillen, little skip pass to Geisler, bouncing outside, crashing down as Barker. That's a great job by Ian Barker to get all over Geisler, who just would not let him get that edge, force him out of bounds, and 4th down, and the Broncos will have to punt.
Yeah, that was excellent speed. You saw two very fast running back and a fast defensive back going over to the side, and that's something we've seen all night on both sides. They've got such horizontal speed. You're not getting a whole lot around the ends.
Junior DB Ian Barker's had some nice moments this year, and that was not something that's going to be real flashy, but the fact that he closed that side and didn't let Geisler get around the edge might have saved a 1st down, and who knows from there.
Well, just put an end to this series.
Yes. Look at this punt. It's going to skip down, roll down all the way inside the 5. That took a few friendly hops for Bethany, and the Racers will get a big stop, but they are now pinned inside their own 5-yard line with 7:42 to go in the third. This is a bit of a danger zone now for Newcastle. Your defense is playing really well. Both teams are kind of just trying to find any offense they can get. The last thing you need to do right now is obviously a safety, but also some sort of a turnover here. You got to be real careful with the football.
Well, and I'm interested to see what changes, what things that they talked about at halftime, what things that they're going to do. It looks like it's a TV timeout, so they're going to take some more timeout. But I'll be interested to see just what adjustments Brickman has made at halftime. If they come out and just try and run TJ Bradford up the middle, or if they're going to try and get some round, they've got to scoot the defense back. Everybody's up there daring them to run on them, and you got to get those linebackers back. You've got to back everybody up if you're going to give TJ Bradford some room to run. So, to me, that's going to be an interesting thing to see starting here on the 3-yard line.
Yeah, you got a long way to go, but we've seen him do it, and not obviously it ended in a painful memory, but just last week, Racers were backed up in their own end in Tuttle and drove the length of the field all the way into the red zone. Obviously, again, we know how that ended, painful memory, but that drive was an all-timer until then.
Right.
So we'll see. Obviously, not quite the same situation right here in the middle of the third quarter, but they're capable.
Well, and I remember thinking at that time, oh, man, this is gonna be hard to move, and they just whipped right down the field.
So that's what they do. 1st and 10 on their own 3. Bradford, the running back next to Bird, who'll get the ball on 1st down. Not much there. Maybe a yard for Bradford on the 1st down run. It's been this kind of game. If you tuned in late, obviously a slobber knocker game. It's been competitive, certainly still up for grabs, but it's been all about the defense. If you're into a low-scoring defensive game, this is the game for you.
Absolutely.
It's been a struggle offensively for both teams tonight. 2nd and 9. Burt will keep it bouncing outside. Lowers the shoulder. Good open field tackle. Burt did a good job to fall forward and get some yards there, but the nice tackle in the open field by Gilliland saved that from being a bigger gain. And we mentioned Gilliland. Obviously, he's been making a lot of things happen on offense tonight, but really more known for his defense. He was the leading tackler on the team entering play tonight. Made a good play there.
Yeah, that was an excellent play. If he hadn't have stopped him, he may have got out to about the 30.
Now it's going to be 3rd down, but a couple of Broncos jumped here. I think this is going to be on Bethany. I think. We'll see.
Well, after the way it's gone tonight, I don't know.
Yeah, it's on the Broncos. So that's a big penalty. So that's going to take it from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 1. And talk about a big shift here if the Rangers can pick this up. Yeah, they're giving them the first down?
Well, it started on the 3-yard line, and they took it out to the 14. So it looks like it'd be a first down. So, wow.
All right, then. Well, it was ruled a 3rd and 6 officially, but obviously that must have been just off by enough. And so it's a first down for the penalty. You'll take that if you're Newcastle. We're up the middle here for Bradford. Not a whole lot there again. Only about a couple. And we've seen, this year, something that Newcastle's done very, very well is just running with Bradford between the tackles. The offensive line is blocked well. He's got great vision. He kind of gets lost in there. You've talked about that before. They have not been able to do that tonight. Bethany has clogged up those running lanes all night.
Well, they put 8 people in the box right there. I mean, they're daring you to run into them. I mean, they were almost in their own huddle on the defense. So they're almost daring you to run. So now it looks like they're going to spread them out a little bit.
2-yard gain is what they call it. 2nd down and 8, 6:10 to play in the 3rd. This is Caden Longman here. Got a little bit of room and dives forward to the 23-yard line. He's not that short of a first down. It's going to be close. They're giving it to him. That's a first down for Caden Longman. It's the first really time in quite a while that you saw a running back have just a little bit of room to work with. Picks it up. 1st and 10. Back to Longman again. This time that's more like what we've gotten used to.
Right.
Bottled up there, no gain.
Well, and they're doing that on 1st and 2nd down. They're just sticking 7, 8 guys right there in the middle. Again, daring them to run on them. So we'll see. We'll see how that ends up. Maybe wears them out a little bit. Maybe that's what they're hoping. But we'll see how that goes. They're speeding it up.
5:36 and counting to play in the 3rd. Fake the handoff. Burt up the middle, running hard, carrying guys with him. Jackson Burt, a nice hard run out near the first down marker again, just shy of the 35. I think he may be short by just a hair.
Yeah,
not by much, though. 3rd and less than a yard here.
Yeah, it looks like it's just about, I'd say a short yard. See what they do here.
5:13 and counting. This is only the 2nd possession of the quarter. Bethany had it for about 5 minutes. Now Newcastle chomping on clock. 3rd down and 1 here for the Racers, trying to pick this up, keep this drive moving. Bradford, the running back next to Burt. Big spot here in this 3rd quarter as the Racers try to mount a drive. And now we have whistles and a timeout taken by Coach Brickman, and Newcastle want to talk it over. Just as I was saying, this is a big play.
Huge.
Coach Brickman said, let me make sure we're all synced up here. 4:54 to go in the 3rd. Timeout taken by Newcastle. We'll take it with them. Big 3rd down coming up for the Racers. The other side of this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Back at SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Big 3rd and 1 here coming up for Newcastle with 4:54 to go in the 3rd in this defensive battle. 7-7 ball game. Winner of this game gets 3rd in District 2. Loser has to settle for 4th. 3rd and 1. We're up the middle for Bradford. Cuts back, and he's got the first down right out to the 40. And a very late flag comes in at the tail end of that. That might be a face mask. I can't imagine it was so at the very tail end of the play, so we'll see what it is. But either way, great effort by Bradford putting his foot in the turf and cutting back to pick that up. But we'll see what the call is. It's a personal foul, yep. And it's just that, face mask.
Good call.
So that penalty tacked on the end of it. So this drive that started at the Newcastle 3, still got a ways to go, but you're now at the Bethany 45. At the very least, you've gotten out of your own end, which is huge.
Yeah, and they've done it on runs. I'm surprised I haven't seen too much of a pass, but that's where they were hurting in the first half. So
just 12 passing yards tonight for Newcastle. First down and 10 at the 45. Burt says, let's add to that. Down the middle for Heskew. Got it! Heskew's loose. Down the middle. Touchdown, Newcastle. Right on cue.
Woo, captain consistency right there. Oh, that was a great pass. That's the best pass I have seen all night long come from Burt. Put him right in stride. You had a defender diving. Great timing. They had 7 in the box ready to stop the run, and there it went.
A C down the middle of the field. Just past the defender. Heskew caught it in stride, 45 yards. Had some problems with drops tonight, but you turn to the senior Heskew. Don't have to worry about that. Big touchdown for Newcastle. Dupler boots the extra point through. And with 4:38 to play until halftime, Newcastle is in front, 14-7. Take a timeout. Bethany ball on the other side of this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back to SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 4:38 to play until halftime. 45-yard touchdown pass. Jackson Burt to Rex Heskew puts the Racers on top. Heskew, I mentioned, is senior, junior wideout for the Racers, but a veteran who's been so reliable in big moments. Comes through with one there. Just as we were saying, they had 12 passing yards so far tonight. How do you like 45 in one play? Almost quintupled.
Right.
Almost went from 12 to 60, which would have been times 5 on your yards. They're at 57 yards now after that. So a massive play that the Racers really needed. That drive began on their own 3-yard line. Back to the way, Broncos field the kick here. This is Cross and a nice tackle from behind. There's Jalen Lane. As you can see, just a little extra pep in the step right now for the Racers on what's been a kind of a frustrating night in a lot of ways. Right now, they're feeling good.
Yeah, it really is, and that you can see the momentum shifting just off of that. And you're right. You know, went into halftime at 67 rushing yards. One series already up to 119 rushing yards. We went in at halftime with 12 yards passing. They're already up to 57 yards passing after one series. So there's some great adjustments that coaches made there at halftime. Really sucked them into the run and got them with the pass.
And here comes a massive drive in this ball game with 4:33 to go in the third. Broncos now suddenly down for the first time tonight. How do they respond? Main in motion is Geisler. The handoff will go to Melton up the middle. Not a whole lot there at all. He's bottled up. Tackle made by Elcision.
Yeah, great tackle. Good job. Defensive end coming around there and clogging that up. That's good. If you're seeing on those runs, they're handing it off, and just everybody's running into the middle like an arrow, and so you're seeing the defense having to battle through blockers and stop him. That was a great job by Elcision.
Give him a 2-yard gain there. It'll be 2nd down and 8 as we near the 4-minute mark to play in the third quarter. Big chance for Newcastle to get a quick stop, get their offense right back out there. 2nd and 8. Back to pass is Payne. He'll bounce out to the left. He's going to throw out a little floater. Diving to catch that. And, yeah, he did. He pulled that right off the turf. Nicely done there by Brock Cross, who's been really the Broncos' most effective wide receiver in this game. Obviously caught the lone touchdown for the Broncos. Did a good job to scoop that one. Makes it a much more manageable 3rd down and maybe 4, 5, somewhere in there.
It looks like about 5. Really
5, yeah.
kind of a confusing pass right there. It looked like, he had to do it to the back shoulder, but there wasn't a whole lot behind that.
He kind of floated it unnecessarily. Kind of took away any chance for yards after the catch. So now we got 3rd and 5. Rolling out here is Payne to his right. He's going to fire to the sideline looking for his man. It's caught. But he's short. He's caught at the 35. That was Garrett Johnson, who's had a couple of nice toe taps. But he's a couple yards shy of the marker. And the Broncos are probably going to have to punt this away. It's going to be a 3-and-out for the Racers defense, exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah. I mean, just a great job. I mean, they're saying, if you're watching this, I don't know if you can see it as a whole on the camera, the defensive backs are staying right there with the receivers. He's not having anybody really open except those ones just right up on the line, kind of the last chance receivers.
So Calderon out to do the punt, something he's done a lot of tonight. Boots it away. Racer's going to get the football back here, backwards bounce. And it will be fielded, or not fielded, but downed just inside the 40. And that's where the Racers will set up a 2:56 to play in the third. So, I mean, that's exactly what you want, Billy.
Yes.
Obviously, your defense comes right out. It's almost kind of like in baseball, you see a lot of times an offense puts 3 or 4 runs up, and then it's like, okay, the pitcher needs to have a shutdown inning. Keep the momentum going, get your guys right back out there to the plate.
That's right.
Almost the exact same situation. A quick 3-and-out, and now your offense is right back out there off of their biggest play and their best drive of the night, trying to build on it, get you a 2-score lead.
Well, and you know the defense got to be tired because the same guys playing offense. They just went on a 97-yard run, and now these guys had 3-and-out down here. Now they got to turn right around and play defense again. So you know that's got to be wearing on them.
So 1st and 10 for Newcastle on their own 39-yard line, up by a touchdown. Burt fakes the handoff, fires out in the flat, looking for Jordan Lane. Goes out of bounds. That might have been backwards, and they're marking it as backwards.
Wow.
It was certainly close. Burt saying it was forward. But the official here on the near side is marking that as a backwards pass, which means that they lose all that yardage.
Yeah, now you're looking at a
second
down and 13. And I'm just glad it kept skipping on out of there.
Yeah.
One of the things Coach talked about is this turf out here is real slicker than the Newcastle turf and some of the ones they've played on. So that may have helped out with that football right there.
It did kind of go skidding across. So it is called a backwards pass. They only lost 3 yards, but still, not exactly what you want.
No.
2nd and 13. Burt faked the handoff again, fires out, pass high to Jordan Lane, but a nice catch. Running through some contact here. Ball came out at the end of that, but the official saying he was down. Broncos sideline immediately exploded, thinking they had a big turnover, but the official immediately signaling that he was down. Gain of about 4 sets up 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, wow. Ooh, that would have been bad.
That would have hurt, yeah.
That would have been bad. So, 9 yards. So, boy, both teams wanted it that time. You saw them kind of talking to each other.
So 3rd down and 9. Racers up by a touchdown. You just want to avoid disaster, really, right now, the way your defense is playing. 3rd and 9. Burt back to pass. All kinds of time. Fires in the middle, looking for Heskew. Incomplete. A lot of contact, but no whistle, no yellow hanky. Racers certainly were hoping for one, but no call. Pass was broken up, and now 4th down. Newcastle will assuredly punt this. The wind is at their back going this direction, so you might be able to get a little extra loft on it and see if you can't pin the Broncos down deep in their own end a little bit.
Yeah, that was a tough one. You could see Brickman got pretty animated over there on the other side of the field. He felt that it was a foul as well, but it's just not – you don't want to put it in there in that close a range, and I can't imagine the officials having to watch this and do it that fast.
So 4th down, Bird will punt it away, boots it down the field. Be fielded about the 20-yard line, make the first guy miss, and then put down at the 25. And that's where the Broncos will set up on offense. 2:07 to play in the third. It's been a lot of possessions in this game. We've had a lot of punts, a lot of 3-and-outs.
A lot of defense.
Feels like Big Ten West. It's like watching Wisconsin and Iowa or something tonight.
I know. You're right. So right.
One of those kinds of games.
Yeah, it's definitely not Big 12 ball with all the finesse and passing and speed.
Might see a little more points in Stillwater tomorrow.
Probably.
2:07 to play until halftime. Broncos take back over on their own 25-yard line. Winner of this game finishes 3rd in the district. Loser settles for 4th. Now, both teams are going to the postseason, but obviously the difference you're telling is between playing a district champ and district runner-up in the first round next week. Gilliland run up the middle here, nothing there at all. Hunter Berry all over him. Did a good job, honestly, to fight forward for a yard or two out of that, but still a minimal pickup on first down.
Yeah, that was pretty good by Gilliland. He was wearing a cape that said 33 and just carried him for a yard or two and then collapsed. So that was a real good run, real good tackle. Hunter Berry did not give him an inch, stood right in his way and made him have to go through him.
Yeah. 1:38 and counting to play until the end of the third. Clock, obviously, not a factor yet. We're not even in the fourth quarter, but the way these defenses have been playing, you're starting to count your number of chances left if you're Bethany to try and get into the end zone. Now we have some flags coming in, and Payne is displeased with whatever is being called here, which tells you which way it's going. It's going to be a false start on the Broncos. So back them up, but it's second down and 13 now to the penalty.
Well, and there's a lot of shifting they're doing on the defensive line. Of course, they play that 4-2 up there, but there's just a lot of shifting, and I think occasionally that causes your offensive line to kind of make an adjustment when they need to stay still.
So second down, 13 after the penalty. Melton, the running back, behind Gilliland. Gilliland will fire a little underneath route. Passes caught, making the first guy miss and getting down to the 30. Tackled by Lovejoy and Heskew in there.
Yeah, that was good. Good job getting up there again. And like I said in the first half, Bethany counts on yards after catch. And they're not getting too many yards after catch tonight, knock on wood.
Looks like that was Geisler on the catch, and, yeah, especially him. We've seen tonight very, very speedy after the catch. But they bottled him up there, and now it's going to be third down and 4. Gilliland takes the direct snap, runs out to the right. He'll pitch it, and blown up immediately by Bradford. Nothing there as the running back for the Broncos, number 17, Strotter, was blown up. And it's going to be fourth down again for Bethany.
And you have to understand, in watching video, they've had a ton of success running that play. A ton of success. But you see Newcastle with its speed getting there left and right, cutting that off, and making it where they don't make it for a first down and have to punt.
So Broncos will continue to play the field position game here, and they'll punt this away as Calderon out to do the honors once more. 13 seconds and counting to play in the quarter. They do have to snap it. Otherwise, you might think about waiting so you can get the wind. And look what the wind does to this. It just dies. On the turf, did that touch a racer? They certainly reacted like it did. It's loose. Bethany's got it. And they're ruling this Bethany ball. That hit a Newcastle player right about midfield. That punt got in the air and just died, kicking into the wind. The wind's going right to left from our vantage point here, in the same vantage point you have on the broadcast. And it just went straight down, basically like it hit a wall and hit our Newcastle player, and the Broncos get a huge break that they really, really needed.
Yeah, and that's just too bad. He was running down, and he even saw that Longman was telling him to get away, but he didn't know where the ball was, and it just came right down on top of him.
So a massive break for the Broncos there, and with 2 seconds to play in the quarter, they got it first and 10 at the 41. Pretty much exactly what you needed. You needed something to go your way. There you go. Pitch out here. This is Gilliland on the pitch, Strotter, on the pitch. And he'll run forward for about 4 or 5 yards. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. It's a defensive slobber knocker, rock fight kind of game. Can the Newcastle defense hang on? After 3, it's Newcastle 14, Bethany 7. Fourth quarter coming up next on the other side of this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again. We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
Back at SNU for the fourth quarter. Newcastle Racers, Bethany Broncos on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, Carson Wade on the production, Scott Cassidy outside working the camera for us tonight. It's been an interesting ball game, certainly a competitive one. It's been a little ugly at times, but some big plays mixed in as well. As this game that's very important for playoff seeding goes down to the wire. We're into the fourth quarter now. One-score game, Racers on top, but the Broncos have it 2nd and 5 at the 36-yard line of Newcastle, so we open up the fourth. We're up the middle here for Gilliland, and he's bottled up for a short gain of about 3. Sets up a 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, it's a good tackle there by Lovejoy. Just got up there, got him around the legs. As we've said, you can't run without legs. Brings up 3rd down. See if they can stop him, get back in there. I have a feeling they're going to try one of those end-around agains.
So 3rd and 2, almost certainly 4-down territory at this point if you're the Broncos trying to get in the end zone and tie this thing back up. Man in motion is Geisler.
Oh.
And there's some movement.
No.
You saw it. Yeah, you saw it. You think it's going to be on Newcastle?
No, I do not. I saw the look like the.
I didn't notice. I didn't see the movement. I heard you, and I reacted to you.
It's either the tight end or the guard over there kind of did a little wiggle, a little flinch.
Yeah, right in front of the Newcastle sideline and band and students right there.
Yeah, they all pointed at it like it was a junior high fight at school. So they were ready for that one.
So a big penalty. That takes it
Wow.
from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7 after the penalty.
Now, do you go for it on 4th if you get no gain?
Probably still.
I think so.
But, yeah, it certainly gets a lot tougher. 11:20 and counting to play in this ball game, and now 3rd and 7. Biggest play of the night so far right here. Payne catches the snap. He's going to fire down the middle of the field. That's going to definitely be pass interference or something. Burt just blew up Geisler running down the middle of the field. I don't know if that was just I don't want to give up a touchdown here or what. That was a surprisingly kind of just silly play, I guess, for the the senior quarterback, who obviously is a good defensive player as well. He just rocked Geisler over the middle. That's an easy call.
Well, and they say if you're going to get burned, take him down.
Yeah,
and so he did. That was almost a personal foul interference.
I mean, I have to just think that he thought Geisler's going to get behind us for a touchdown right now, and I'm just going to break this up. First down's better than touchdown. I assume, because that was about as egregious of a PI as you'll see.
Yeah,
so it's a first down for the Broncos.
He'll show down, and if you'll notice on that one, on the defense, they usually have the one back, like you see back there, Heskew. They didn't have anybody back that time. They were anticipating the run, and that's what opened them up on the backside.
So it's first down for Bethany down to the 23-yard line. Can they finish this drive in the end zone? Gilliland will run here up the middle. Not much there at all, as Lovejoy and Barry, or no, not Barry, excuse me. It was Lovejoy, but teaming up with him was Birdsong on that one. About a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, it's getting where they're doing real well there between the tackles. They're just clogging up holes right there. You saw Lovejoy. Didn't say his name a whole lot in the first quarter, but since then he's really stepped up, and he's really doing some hitting.
So we got a timeout here on the field. Didn't notice if one of the teams took one or if it's just an official timeout.
Yeah, there goes the man in the yellow hoodie.
So we're headed to an official timeout here. 10:43 to play in the ballgame. We'll go ahead and take it with them and be back here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting?
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
Back at SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, they give us a little hezzy hay here. They were running out to get back to play, and now they're back to their sidelines. So we'll give them a second here. 10:43 to play in the ballgame, Billy. Gives us an opportunity as they are looking to get back to it. Make sure we get our fourth quarter sponsor in, which is OEC, the Oklahoma Electric Cooperative. Taking high-speed fiber where no one else will. No contracts, no fees, just a good connection. bringing you the power of high-speed fiber services to your door. Check them out at oecfiber.com. So now we are ready to get back to it. No pump fake this time. Second down and 9, just outside the red zone. The Bethany Broncos trail the Newcastle Racers 14-7, trying to even this thing up. Gillen bouncing outside. Not much there at all once more. Maybe a yard, if anything. And right now, Billy, it feels like Newcastle's really starting to kind of get into a rhythm in terms of stopping these runs that were really effective early. Really, Bethany's best bet, in the second half, it's kind of been airing out a little bit more.
So I think so, too. I think they're making a mistake by not airing it out more often. I think you'd really catch them off. But Newcastle's doing a really good job of splitting those defensive linemen and getting through there and getting to the runner before they can get a head of steam going.
So as we near the 10-minute mark to play from SNU and Bethany, Oklahoma, the Broncos have got a big third down here, almost certainly going to go for it on fourth down. We'll see what happens here. Pressure coming on the quarterback, Payne. He's going to have to get rid of it. He just does. Throws it away as Elcision and Barry, who else, bringing the heat there on the quarterback, Payne. He had to just get rid of it, and now the Broncos are saddled with a 4th and long.
Yeah, you got the brothers of Sack right there, man. They were going after him. I think they were so upset they couldn't get to him, they tackled each other. And that was a great job.
Brothers of Destruction, like Kane and Undertaker. 4th and long here for the Broncos. We'll see what they dial up. Just Coach John Arthur and Bethany on obviously the biggest player of this game so far.
Well, it looks like Newcastle's dropping some people back, so it's definitely not.
Well, I mean, you can play soft a little bit on 4th and 9. You just got to keep everybody in front of you. Don't let them get to the sticks. They want 5 yards, knock yourselves out. Gillen, the quarterback, and now Arthur wants to take a timeout here for the Broncos. That'll be Bethany's first charged with 9:53 to go. Racer faithful getting loud. A big play coming up. We're going to take the timeout with them. Biggest play of the night so far coming up the other side of this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right.
All right, back at SNU. Big 4th down play coming right here. Biggest play of the night so far. 4th and 9 for the Broncos. Gillen in at quarterback. 4 receiver set for Bethany. 3 on the bottom of your screen, 1 toward the top. What does Coach Arthur and the Broncos dial up? Gillen's going to roll out to his left. Pump fake once, cuts back. He's going to take off and run with it. Big collision, short of the 15. Stopped on 4th down. A massive pop by the Racers defense. Who was that? Was that Lovejoy or Longman?
It looked like it was Taj Smith.
Looks like it was Lovejoy, per our producer Carson Wade. Came in and laid an absolute haymaker on Gillen. It looked like he was going to get the first down, but then just ran into a Mack truck.
Well, and you got to give that to Lovejoy. I mean, he came in like a Mack truck. He came in and just stopped him in the middle of a step.
Just stopped his momentum right in his tracks. Yeah. What a shot that was.
He's not out there on defense.
So a massive stop on 4th down. Racers get it back. 9:44 to go. Bird will fire out far side to Lane off the fingertips. Incomplete. Boy, the Newcastle's just had a hard time just connecting tonight in the passing game. Even those little short throws that you would think, quote unquote, easy throws have not been easy tonight.
Well, and by the time they're on this far hash over here, and by the time the ball gets over there,
that's a farther throw than it seems.
Yes, it almost wonder why there's not 8 defensive players over there.
So the complete pass on 1st down makes it 2nd and 10. Still certainly a long way to go here. 9:39 left. The way these defenses have been playing. Run up the middle for Bradford. Makes a couple guys miss. DJ Bradford's loose. Carrying a guy with him past the 35. big run for Bradford. What else is new? 1st and 10.
That was awesome. And if you notice right there, he kept his head up. He stopped right as he saw a couple guys coming towards him from both sides. He was able to stop, let them cross in front of him, and keep going. Great run by Bradford.
1st and 10, Newcastle out to the 37-yard line, maybe even 38 actually, with 9:25 and counting to play. Every first down right now for Newcastle is more time off that clock. Obviously still a lot of time left to be doing the clock game so far, but
oh, wow.
It still all helps. Longman bouncing outside. Nice run by the youngster Caden Longman.
I think you're seeing a defense getting tired right there. That tackle right there was by number 21. It was Geisler, yeah. Geisler right there, but you're starting to see, you can see people putting their hands on their hips and just getting a little tired.
Well, this has been a physical game, obviously, and just I don't have the numbers to back it up, but it just feels like we've had more snaps in this game than the average game. There's been so many change of possessions. It feels like we've had a lot of plays in this game. These two teams are probably going to be feeling it, obviously, toward the end of a long season right now.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're going to need the weekend in the ice bath.
Yeah. 2nd and 5. Fake the handoff pass on the flat. Caught by Lane this time. Bouncing outside. Jalen Lane making guys miss everywhere. And he's got the first down to the 45. Some really nice moves by the young wideout, Jalen Lane. 1st and 10, Newcastle coming up.
Man, great job by him.
Actually, excuse me, Billy. There's a penalty flag down. I didn't see him amongst all the bodies. And it's going to be a hold on. Newcastle's going to back that up. Boy, big call there. Wipes out what would have been a first down play. Instead, you're going to have 2nd down and a big number.
About 10, yeah. Just, man, a little bit more than 10, it looks like. 13.
It was 2nd and 5 before, so depending on where the penalty was, yeah, they're back to about the 30.
And I'll say that was the pass that we've been waiting for Burt to throw. That was right there on the money. He could take it and go upfield. Whoops. And we'll get some yardage
5 back. It hasn't been the most beautiful football I've ever seen tonight.
I tell you what, I feel like I'm back in 2022, though, with those offsides. This is the most offsides we've been able to get this year.
That's true. So the penalty makes it from 2nd and 13 to 2nd and 8. Back up to the 35-yard line. 8:24 to go. Newcastle got to feel like at this point they can put together a drive that results in points. Going to be in really good shape with the way their defense is playing. Going deep down the sideline for Lane, off his fingertips and incomplete. That was a tough throw. Wasn't a bad throw, but a tough one, trying to fit into that gap between a couple of Broncos defenders, and goes incomplete. 3rd down coming up.
Well, and I tell you what, that number 4, I believe it is, for Bethany, he got over there fast. Bryson Miller, senior, he closed in on that real quick, and boy, it was pretty close. He looked like he was looking up at fans over there and saying something, and a teammate came over like a good teammate and just said, hey, come on, head in the game.
3rd down and 8, 8:17 left. 4 receivers set for Burt. Gets a shotgun snap, clean pocket, fires looking for Schumar. He breaks free! Schumar's loose! Can he get there? He's caught from behind inside the 5. What a catch in traffic by Schumar.
How did he catch it? I got to watch the replay of that one. How did he pull that one down? Holy cow.
Just snuck it through.
It looked like he pulled it out of the breadbasket of the defender.
Great look at that in the Eric Ledoux State Farm instant replay. As Racers have got it 1st and goal inside the 5. A near interception. The ball seemingly went through like a ghost through the Bethany defender. Schumar had it and almost scored. But he'll get it 1st and goal at the 4.
Wow.
What a huge play that was.
Enormous.
1st and goal. Burt fires on the slant looking for Heskew. He never saw it, but there's a penalty flag in toward the tail end. And I don't know. This could be a hole. It could also be PI. I don't know. This could go either way.
It landed there in Holdville, and you had Maddox Birdsong kind of pleading his case.
It is a hold. So back them up from 1st and 4 back to 1st and 14. Still 1st and goal, obviously, but at the 14-yard line. 7:50 to go.
Well, and that just, it stinks. I mean, there's no other word for it. It just stinks that happens.
And, I mean, at this point, it's very windy. You're kicking into the wind right now, and you don't have your normal, very reliable kicker in Toby Batchelder tonight. It's been Dupler all night. And so you don't really want to have to lean on a kick right now of any kind of distance.
Make it easy.
1st and goal. Burt will fire, looking to the far side, looking for his man. I think that's Heskew, and that's not going to be caught, but it's going to be pass interference here. So half distance to the goal, move it back inside the 10, and it'll be first down still. Penalties aplenty tonight.
Man, it's hard to keep up with them all. I'm glad we're just doing yardage, and first downs and score. Can you imagine the stats person trying to keep up with the flags?
It's been a lot of yellow hang. The officials' arms are going to be sore from hurling penalty flags everywhere.
Oh, man. It's a good thing they can reuse those. They'd be out of them by now.
So it'll still be first down after the penalty. They'll put it half distance to the goal to the 6.5. It was on the 13, get to the 6.5. First and goal still. Third crack at first and goal.
It's true.
3 receiver set. Bradford, the running back, next to Burt. Almost got a couple of Broncos to jump on that hard count. Racers smell blood in the water. First and goal. Run to Bradford. Bouncing outside. TJ Bradford cuts back, running through contact, down to the 1. What a run by Bradford. It looked like he had nowhere to go a couple of times on that.
Oh, and that's a strong run. That was so impressive. The defender that tackled him patted him on the helmet saying, great run.
So down to the 1-yard line, second and goal from that spot. Bradford comes out.
It looks
like this might be the spot where they just run their big QB. Yep. You got the Hunter Berry, Taj Smith combination to the left. Boom. They run right behind him. You cannot get through Hunter Berry and Taj Smith blocking. Touchdown, Newcastle, 1 yard for Burt, and they lead it by 2 scores, 7:04 to go.
Wow, just a good run. And you just get up behind 77, 33, 43, and I think it was 55. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. You could put 4 or 5 guys over there on that side, and it just doesn't matter. So that was a great call and a great job by those guys. That'll be our form of the tush push.
It basically is because it's pretty much unstoppable. Dupler extra point is up and through.
Perfect.
And with 7:04 to go, Newcastle gets a massive score to move ahead by 2 touchdowns. Timeout on the field. We'll see if the Broncos can respond. 7:04 to play. Racers ahead by 14 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back at SNU, Josh Callaway, Billy Collier in the regular season finale tonight here on OSN. With 7:04 to go, Jackson Burt's third touchdown of the night, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air. Makes it 21-7 Newcastle. With just 7:04 to go, Billy, obviously at this point, if you're the Broncos, you have to find a way to get down the field and score quick, which is just not – that is very hard to do right now. The way that their offense has struggled to move the football, and when they have moved it, it hasn't been in big plays. It's been pounding the ball little by little down the field. It's asking a lot right now for this Bethany offense to find a way to get 2 scores in 7 minutes.
Oh, a ton. But, according to, after watching video of them, they really did a lot more balanced passing, even having more passing yards and rushing yards. I'm kind of surprised tonight they haven't gone to that.
So Dupler will kick it away for the Racers. It'll be fielded just past the 15 by Geisler. Very speedy. He's down the sideline and pushed out at about the 40. And it was 6:59 to go. That's where the Broncos will set up shop. If this score holds, still got 7 minutes to go, the Racers would finish 3rd place in District 2, which would be an improvement from 4th place a year ago. And they'd be headed, ironically, I guess, to the same place, though.
That's right.
Which would be the Elk City Big Elks. Way out west.
Well, if last year was the question, hopefully when we show up we bring the answer this year. That would be a nice change.
Last year, the Racers, on the final night of the regular season at home against these same Broncos, lost 32-31 in double overtime. And then, like I said, finished 4th, had to go to district champion Elk City, were knocked down the first round of the playoffs. Tonight, trying to get revenge on Bethany, and then, in turn, would have a chance of revenge on Elk City next week. So, got a little work to do here, though, first. 21-7, pass here in the slant route off the hands of Geisler. Boy, if he pulls that down, he's got room, and we know how speedy he is.
A lot of room. I don't know if it got tipped there at the line. One of the good things I'm seeing that I haven't seen a lot at this level, a lot of hands up on the line. That's a good job. In fact, I would say that's probably one of the reasons he might have missed it, because you're looking at hands waving in front and such.
So incomplete pass, second down and 10, 6:55 to go. Be sure to stay with us after the game, by the way, for the post-game show. Billy and I will give our final thoughts on this one. We'll give out the Elcision Realty Player of the Game Award, and we'll look ahead to the playoffs next week. Man in motion there is Gilliland. Payne scoops the snap, handoff to Geisler. He almost fumbled, and then he gets popped. Guess who? Jackson Burt coming in for the big hit. He lost a yard. And the Racers just this entire second half have just been playing with a much higher energy and have just really, frankly, dominated the game in the second half.
Well, they're playing like they're embarrassed of the first half. They're playing like they know that's not them, and they're coming out this time, and they're dominating this game, dominating the run, getting in the way of passes, and doing a great job, something we thought we'd see all game long.
6:20 and counting to go. Bethany's got to find a way to get down the field and quickly. 3rd and 11. Gilliland rolls out to his right. Going to step back to the left. Pressure coming. He's got to get rid of it. Hunter Berry is chasing him down. Big block. Meanwhile, Hunter Berry spins him. Couldn't quite get him. Second effort. And the ball came out and went out of bounds, I think. And so after all of that, Bethany's going to lose a lot of yards here. And it's going to be 4th down and a country mile. Hunter Berry just would not let Gilliland go. Even after Gilliland shook him once, he got back up and then got on him again. And now Coach Arthur is going to burn his second timeout before what is essentially pretty close to the game on 4th down and 20.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I was surprised that there wasn't a cutback block called right there, but it was pretty close.
Yeah.
Great block, but like you said, he got blocked, rolled, got up, and went. And they swiped the ball, and it went out of bounds right there. So that was great defense, good pursuit.
So we'll see what Coach John Arthur and the Broncos attempt to dial up here with 5:52 to play. 4th and 20 is what it's being called officially. They're on about the 33-yard line and got to get to the plus 48, so I guess that'd be 19, really, if you wanted to get more precise with it. And with just one timeout left now, if you don't pick this up with under 6 minutes to play, down 2 scores, you're
right.
really, your win probability is low.
You're prepping for some red storm.
You're getting ready to go. You're making plans for the Tornado Bowl.
That's right.
If you're the Broncos, if you don't pick this up. It's be quite the way to end the regular season if you're Newcastle. Like we said, kind of off the top. Yeah, I mean, you're in the playoffs either way. You're going on the road either way. But there's just something to be said about finishing on a high note and carrying that with you into the postseason. It could be an 8-win regular season, which is a very nice number to take with you. Yeah, you're disappointed about the way last week ended against Tuttle. You wish you played better against Blanchard earlier, but you take care of business tonight, and then when you get to next week, it doesn't really matter anymore. You just got to beat whoever's in front of you every week the rest of the way.
Looks like they're going for it.
They have to. You have to. It's 4th and 20, but there's not enough time left to play defense at this point. See what they do. Gilliland back to pass. Going to throw up a Hail Mary and hope. Fires down the sideline. Got a man down there. Diving effort. Not a bad try. But it goes incomplete. Harmlessly to the turf. And with 5:45 to go, the Racers take over on downs. And it's not over yet, but it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, she's warming up. That's what I know. She's warming up.
The fat lady's vocal. She's doing vocal exercises.
Right.
Is that what you're getting at?
I can hear it. But no, that was an excellent effort. I really got to give it to the Bronco that dove out there, just put himself all the way out there to get that ball. Was that Geisler, I think.
Yeah.
So you got to give it to this Bronco team. They gave
They're
Newcastle
tough.
everything they
wanted. And like
wanted.
we said, this is a Broncos team that had a lot of good players last year that have moved on to play sports, football, and other sports at the major D1 level. It's a program that's not going anywhere.
No.
A lot of these guys will be back next year. 1st and 10 for Newcastle. Burt handoff to Bradford up the middle. No gain. I'll tell you what, if I'm Clinton, that's not a team you really love to draw.
No.
Because you're thinking if you win the district, you're thinking you're playing somebody who finished 4th. You have a borderline, not gimme, but one that you're going to feel good about. And they'll feel good about it. But this is a tough Bethany team that can play defense and tackle. They got good running backs. they can shorten the game on you with the way they can run the ball. It's going to be a little bit of a scary game for Clinton next week in the playoff opener.
Well, and for what I've seen, I think it's going to be a pretty ugly matchup for them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at a team that just wants to hit and hit and keep hitting.
Bradford run up the middle here, twisting forward for a few to the 30-yard line as we run under 5 minutes to go. Newcastle trying to put the finishing touches on this one and what would be, like I said, an 8-win regular season and a third-place finish in District 2. If they can finish this thing off.
And they're getting lined up pretty fast. I think they want to bleed it a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Still 17 seconds on the play clock right now, but they're going to go ahead and snap it. Well, maybe not. Pump fake me out. I would have jumped if I was on defense.
I did jump.
So they do let it tick down more, down under 5. Hand off Bradford. The middle, he's got room. TJ Bradford, shot out of a cannon. You cannot catch him when he gets going. Touchdown, Newcastle.
Great
30
job.
yards.
Great job, line. Excellent job. I think they weren't expecting him to cut back to the left. He's been going right the last 2-3 times. He gets through there. They just had it blocked perfectly. Huge. We could see it from up here at the top of the bleachers. We could see the hole with green and black going through it. So just a little exclamation mark to make on the game.
TJ Bradford has done that so much this year. When he hits the hole hard and there's nobody home, it's over. And he's been caged up pretty good tonight, probably as well as any team's done all year against him. But not right there. It was only a matter of time before he gets loose. Extra point booted through by Dupler. And with 4:20 to go, Newcastle leads at 28-7. Racers well on their way to a third-place finish. Broncos offense back out trying to make a big comeback next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
And you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate. When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Back at SNU, Newcastle leads Bethany 28-7 on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Racers on their way here to their 8th win of the regular season and a third-place finish in District 2. Billy, obviously, this was a game that was very close, 7-7 at halftime and 14-7 at the end of the third quarter. And Bethany had it down in Newcastle's end at the end of the third quarter, but Racers have done a lot of things to like in the second half of this game. This is how you want to go into the postseason, the way they played in the second half.
Oh, absolutely. 28 points unanswered is how it's kind of come out here.
Yeah. Somebody's got to field this thing. It's loose. Ball's pinballing around. It's still on the turf. Recovered by the Racers.
Wow.
It's been that kind of second half for Newcastle. I don't know what the Broncos were doing. A couple players thought it was kind of a you got it, nobody's got it situation. And Shane Lovejoy gets on the loose ball, and Newcastle set up in business at the 28-yard line, 4:14 to go.
Boy, and you just feel bad. I mean, that's not what Bethany wanted at this point in the game. Just kind of apprehension. You want guys that are going to go after that ball. They don't want apprehension. Of course, here we are now on the 27-yard line on the go side, and you just – I hate it. I'm a huge Newcastle fan, but it still just kind of hurts a little bit watching the Broncos down here and that happen.
So 1st and 10 for Newcastle right there. Still Jackson Burt in the game. Bradford next to him. Burt pump fake once. Going to fire in the middle for Antonio Brown. What a catch! OSN top plays of the week nominee Antonio Brown. Sticking that mid out there and pulling that thing in.
Man, it stopped spinning. You saw laces, and it stopped right when he got his hand on it and pulled it in. That was a great catch.
How did he catch that? That was stellar.
Well, if you've ever shook his hand, well, he shakes your arm. He's got these big glove hands.
If he squeezes you, he breaks your bones in the hand kind of thing. 2nd down and 3 after the fantastic one-hand snag by Antonio Brown. 3:33 and counting to play. Obviously, just academic at this point. Racers on their way. Throws out in the flat here. Pass is caught by Lane. trying to get around his blocker. Didn't get much, maybe a yard. Those little bubble screens are usually pretty effective for Newcastle. Not really tonight. Bethany's done a very nice job defending those kind of all night.
Well, they just have that speed at defensive back. I mean, that's something I've noticed tonight, even over the two teams that beat us. Tuttle and Blanchard did not have that speed getting over to the corners that I've seen tonight out of Bethany.
So under 3 minutes to play now. 3rd down and 2 coming up for the Racers. Burt checking with the sideline. My Apple Watch is talking. So 3rd down and 2. Run for Bradford up the middle. There he goes again, making guys miss. Turns on the burners, and he's in. Touchdown,
Wow.
T.J. Bradford. And this game has become a blowout suddenly.
Yeah, there seems to be a statement being made tonight. That was a great job. Good cut. The defensive back was back there on an island. And when you're on an island against T.J. Bradford, you you almost have to pick your poison. And he picked it wrong. So good run by Bradford.
So Bradford mostly kept in check all night, really for the first time all year, but you only knew that would last for so long. 30-yarder, and then right there a 19-yarder. And Dupler punches the extra point through. And with 2:37 to play here at SNU, it's all Newcastle. 35-7 Racers rocking their way into the playoffs. Timeout on the field. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back at SNU, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, finishing up on this one, 2:37 to go. This was a 14-7 game at the end of the 3rd quarter, and Bethany had it down about the 30-yard line or so of Newcastle. And boy, how things have shifted quickly. As the Racers in complete command now, leading by 28 points, and setting up a date, a rematch of a year ago in the first round of the playoffs. Newcastle and Elk City lined up for next Friday in the postseason. And Billy and I will preview that one a little bit more in the postgame show. Stick with us after the game. Kick us away, fielded about the 30. Nice tackle. Jalen Lane again. He's had a couple nice tackles tonight. Hasn't been his biggest game offensively, but he's had some nice plays on the defensive end tonight.
Oh, excellent play. Just like that. Just to take out both his legs as he's running past him. Great job, and you're right. I think on offense it's been a little bit of a struggle for him tonight, but he's been able to answer on defense. Some of these tackles, some of these way he defended the receivers. I tell you what, they've really kept the receivers in check all night. I haven't seen but maybe once or twice where the receiver was just wide open.
So 2:32 left. Back out comes Payne and this Broncos offense, which is just early in the game had some nice drives of really running the ball, but Racer defense in the second half has found a way to keep that under wraps, force them into some throwing situations, and it hasn't worked out very well. And there you go. Pass knocked down at the line. Was that Elcision got his hand on it?
That was Elcision, yeah. Puts his hand up, and he's about 9.5 feet tall, and it just got the ball and knocked it down.
So a complete pass makes it 2nd and 10, 2:28. All that remains in the 2023 regular season. Playoffs to kick off next Friday all across Oklahoma. Fun time of year.
Oh, yeah.
Handoff to Gilliland. Hits the hole hard here. Runs forward for about 5. 3rd down coming up.
Good run, good solid run. Their line had a good job right there going against ours. Opened up a hole for him. He hit it pretty fast. They're a good team. We think we were talking during the break. If I was Clinton, I don't know that I would be going, yay.
Yeah, no, like we said, yeah, that's not a This district is just a tough district. I
Very.
mean, it is. I mean, it's very top heavy. We talked about the very beginning of the year. We all kind of knew coming in like it was last year, it's going to be Tuttle, Blanchard, Newcastle, and Bethany that make the playoffs at the end of the day. Just a matter of seeding as I run up the middle here for just a couple of yards. Big pile moving, be fourth down. We knew coming in, but these 4 teams are all capable, I think, of competing at right at the top of any other district. And
absolutely.
So, yeah, it's not – if you're District 1, which is lined up across from District 2, all the District 1 teams play District 2 teams in the first round. It's not the best draw, really, for anybody.
That's true. And you can tell them they're still out there running hard. Gilliland right there was not going to let 4 guys take him down. So I look forward to watching that game next week.
So fourth down, 1:12 left, handoff to Gilliland. He'll flip it out to Geisler, which is, I think, what they were trying to do at the very beginning of this game when the pitch went awry. But that time it worked out. Geisler, a big run off the little option play. Be first down way down at the 42, it looks like. Only a minute 4 left, though.
That's the first time you didn't see too many white jerseys down here on this side.
Mm-hmm.
He could have taken a good play by Jordan Lowe, just kind of running him out of bounds.
First and 10 at the 42. 3 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Running back next to Payne is Gilliland. He'll fake it to him, fires a little underneath play here to Cross. Makes some guys miss. Tackle down at the 25. Brock Cross, who had that 26-yard touchdown back in the first quarter. We really felt like Bethany was, okay, here they come. That's it. They haven't scored since.
Yeah, they're right there on the verge of the red zone right now. They're still wanting to play out there.
Under 50 seconds to go. Clock continuing to tick away. Broncos, no massive hurry. Obviously down 28 points. Back to pass. Here's Payne rolling out. Berry almost had him. Now he'll just get rid of it. Hunter Berry, I don't think he has any sacks on his leisure time, but he's been close a bunch of times. He's forced some throwaways, things like that. Been very disruptive.
Well, and I think they have a stat on the team for hurried.
Hurries. Quarterback hurries.
Yeah. He's been doing a lot of hurries. They do some really unique things finding their player of the game, and not once has their player of the game been ours because they do such a different grading, and I know that those hurries go into it as well.
So incomplete, and it's second down and 10, 31.7 seconds to go. Again, keep up with us after the game. Billy and I will wrap it all up here from SNU. We'll give out our Precision Realty Player of the Game award, and we'll look ahead to the playoffs next week. Racers and Elks. Bouncing around here as Payne made a couple guys miss. He'll fire the end zone. Kane Longman down there, and he batted it away. Nicely done by Longman. I don't know how the heck Payne managed to get through. Again, there was Barry in there. There's a couple other guys as well.
He is doing a great job, and you saw his arm strength right there. He threw that about 30 yards on the run, and Longman had to go as high as he could to just slap it away.
So 21.9 now. Seconds remaining. 3rd and 10. Coming up for the Broncos. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in all season long. We hope that you follow us into the postseason. Should be fun. A lot of playoff football coming up your way on OSN next Friday night. Fires a rocket here. Goes off the hands of Cross. That ball, that was pretty much everything that Payne had in him. He stepped back and slung that thing.
Yeah, I think it was that Geisler. He may need to count his fingers.
Cross.
Yeah, it looked like it put a little sting
that was a
on the
finger
fingers.
jammer, yeah.
They have a finger sticking out his elbow.
So incomplete pass makes it 4th and 10. 17.9 seconds left.
This is it right here. They have first down. They get 20 more seconds. If they don't, we say goodnight.
Payne's got it. He'll fire toward the end zone. Got a man, and it's leaping forward, incomplete. Looked like maybe if he had just kind of kept running, he would have had a shot at that. He kind of stopped and tried to leap for it, but couldn't make a play on it. Falls to the turf, and with 11 seconds left, Newcastle takes over, and it will be 1 kneel down, and that'll be it.
I might say more after the game, but I got to tell you right now, I'm excited for this Bethany versus Clinton game. I am really excited about that. So, looking really good. I am hoping. I would love for that.
Yeah.
How awesome would it be to get to the semifinals with all 4 District 2s?
That'd be something. You get to neutral sites and you get there, too. So be like, where do we play it?
That's right.
Long way to go before we get there, but it'll be fun next couple of weeks in the playoffs. Burt puts a kneel on it. Quite a bounce back for that young man, too, after that tough way that the game ended last week in Tuttle. And the final seconds tick off. That's it. Ball game over. Newcastle wins it 35-7. They finish the regular season at 8-2. Bethany falls to 6-4. It'll be Newcastle and Elk City next week in the first round of the 4A playoffs. We'll take one last final break. When we get back, Bill and I will wrap it all up from SNU. We'll give out the Elcision Realty Player of the Game Award, and we'll look ahead to next week and the playoffs, the Racers and the Elks. Stick with us. Post-game show next, right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list.
Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again. We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
So that's Will, and that's Tim. And the farm has been in the family now how long, Tim?
100 years or so.
You stopped counting?
Yes.
The idea that 1.5% of this country is feeding 330 million people 3 times a day.
You shut down a lot of oil and gas, you shut down a lot of U.S. ag. All of a sudden, we start paying a lot more for food, and there's a lot more hungry people all over the world.
All right, back here on the Oklahoma Sports Network, wrapping this thing up from SNU. Newcastle wins it 35-7. They finished the regular season 8-2. Final thoughts, Billy Collier. This was a weird game. Obviously, they fell behind 7-0 early. It was 7-7 at halftime. We're sitting here talking at halftime like this is a slobber knocker game, like first to 10 might win. And they got the big touchdown, the pass to Rex Heskew, the 45-yarder. And that seemed to just break the floodgates open. Because after that, Bethany had the one drive where it felt like maybe they had a chance to get back in it. They get stopped on 4th down. Boom, boom, boom. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Racers ran away. And if you didn't watch this game, like most of the state doing their own games or wherever, and you just check the final score tonight, you're thinking, wow, Newcastle rolled over them. Yeah. Even though it was all in the 4th quarter. It was 14-7 after 3. Racers ended up winning by 4 scores in a game that felt completely up for grabs, 30 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, real time.
Oh, man, they went from a first half where it looked like they couldn't beat anybody into a second half where, I'll tell you right now, if they played the whole game like they played the second half, I think they could beat almost anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a flawless second half. To go from 67 yards rushing in the first half to what they did in the second, just amazing. And how good they did. The passes looked more crisp. It was almost like you said, after that Heskew touchdown, it's like somebody over there went, oh, yeah, we can play.
Yeah,
and
right.
So they just opened it up and just did it and just took everything out of Bethany.
Mm-hmm. Elcision Realty Player of the Game Award. Boomer and Tiffany Elcision of the Tiffany team are your local realtors with Prime Realty. Go Racers. I think we're going to go Jackson Burt tonight.
Think to.
Final regular season game of his career. Obviously, now he heads into the playoffs, the senior QB. Played really well tonight. Obviously, had 2 rushing touchdowns and the bomb to Heskew as well. Didn't turn the ball over tonight, which obviously was a big thing last week. And just in general, last week was tough. The way that they lost, but especially for him, not that it was his fault, but it feels that way for him in the moment whenever the fumble at the end of the game against Tuttle was what ended the game, right? I mean, I'm sure he wore that all week, and he came back out here and he played really well tonight and got the Racers a big road win to go into the playoffs. So shout out Jackson Burt. Nice bounce back for him.
Right. A great game for him, especially you had some big guys go out, Jackson Shaniel out, and you had Burt kind of come in there and replace him in a lot of ways, playing just lights out football on both sides of the ball. And again, coming out that second half, those passes were crisp, even the ones to the side that it seemed like in the first half we're going behind them. One, the very first of the game was a backwards toss. And so the passes were incredible. That pass to Schumard, his receivers got their hands going there in the second half. Just a great job by him. He was the field general out there in the second half. Excited for him.
So we now look ahead to the playoffs. Next week, we mentioned it's kind of funny the way it worked out. Last year they lost to Bethany in the final regular season game, a heartbreaker in double OT. And then they went to Elk City in the opener of the playoffs and got knocked out. This year, the way it worked out, you play Bethany in the regular season finale again. You have a chance to get revenge. They did. And now because of that, you play Elk City in the first round again and a chance to get revenge again out there at the scene of the crime of a year ago, back out to Elk City. Next week, the Elks have had a good season, 7 wins of their own this year. They took care of business tonight against John Marshall to finish 5-1 in district play, and they move on, obviously, to the playoffs as the runner-up in their district, District 1. Obviously, we haven't seen Elk City since last year, but early thoughts. I mean, this is when you talk about motivated. I mean, you're playing the team that knocked you out last year. You know that these guys are going to be fired up and ready to go for that game.
Oh, absolutely. You know that they want them. They want them. We joked around, you'd go and play Clinton and then maybe have an easier run through the playoffs. But I know they want Elk City. And something I'm just noticing here, I go to Max Preps. Bethany that we beat tonight by 28 points is ranked 9th. You know what Elk City's ranked?
Yeah.
8th.
Yeah, there you go.
And so you're looking at a team that at least Max Preps is thinking is a lot like Bethany, which I got to give everything to Bethany. Boy, they gave Newcastle everything they could handle in that first half. I mean, it felt like Newcastle could not do anything right. And then they turned it around in the second half and put their foot down on the throttle. But now you're going to go to an Elk City who is ranked 1 ahead of the team you just beat by 28. You've got to be feeling good about that. And if they can play like they did in the second half, I think they can handle Elk City. And that's what I'm looking forward to as a fan as well as somebody that likes to do the Kohler.
100%. Look forward to it. Should be a fun one. We really hope you tune in. Obviously, Elk City is a journey away. Yeah. So fans who maybe don't want to make the trip or, who knows, you can't make it because it's too far, whatever it may be. We hope you tune in. It's the playoffs next week. Again, we'll be there, same time as always. Kickoff maybe at 7:30. Again, keep up with Newcastle's official accounts and also us at OSN schedule on the Facebook page as well as the app and things like that. We'll have the time in there for you. But whether it's at 7:30 or 7, either way, pregame 30 minutes before kick, so 6:30 or 7, and then we'll have the game for you in its entirety, just as always, live, free, right here on OSN. Billy and I, Carson, and Uriah will be back next week as well. Looking forward to that next Friday. Should be a really fun game. The playoffs are always just the intensity. You can't replicate that during the season. You get big games. Obviously last week was a big game. Blanche was a big game. Tonight was a big game in a lot of ways. But when you know that if we lose, it's over, it just puts a whole different kind of urgency on it.
Yeah,
so
definitely. It puts some feelers down in the gut that says not tonight.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun next week. Hopefully the weather is as good as it was tonight. I have no idea if it will be. Hopefully. Wow, last year we were in Elk City, Billy. You weren't there. Gene and I did the game, and it was freezing. We have a booth. It's a bit of an old press box there. It was still cold in the booth. Better than outside, but it was cold. It was cold. So hopefully it's not like that again. We'll find out next week. That's it for us. We thank you so much for tuning in. As always, been a great season on OSN, and we're not done yet. The playoffs starting next Friday. Newcastle, Elk City, next Friday in the first round of the 4A playoffs. Special thanks again to Scott Cassidy. Cannot hear me right now, but filled in tonight for Uriah Martinez. Did a great job. We needed somebody when Uriah couldn't make tonight's game. He stepped in, did a great job. And so a shout-out to him. Carson Wade on the production did a great job as always. My partner, Billy Collier. I'm Josh Calloway. We'll see you guys back Tuesday for the Coaches Show.
That's right,
Billy and Gene with Coach Brickman and the team getting ready for the playoffs. And then next Friday, we'll be with you, Racers Elks, way out west in Elk City next Friday night. Excited for it. That's it. We'll see you guys next week for the playoffs. Again, for the whole crew, Scott Cassidy, Carson Wade, Billy Collier, I'm Josh Calloway signing off from Bethany. Racers win it 35-7. Good night, everybody. We'll see you in the playoffs.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.